Mark Stout. Mark, early season game, you couldn't really ask for anything more.
John, this is a big one. You see the two teams out there as they line up for the coin toss, and the captains out there. And, you know, players and coaches will say, this isn't a big game. It's only the second game of the season. But let's face it, these two teams met in the playoffs last year. They had a couple of battles a season ago, and that could happen again this year. This game could have ramifications down the line.
It's been a great rivalry through the past few years, and tonight, a matchup of 1 versus 2. You don't get that very often.
We'll see what happens with Dave Logan's defending champs, the A West Wildcats, and the Mullen Mustangs coming in here. Now, Mullen, coached by Mick McCall, is a team that returns 24 starters. And John and I have talked about how this team has experience, has size, and has speed. Dave Logan's team is in a little bit of a transition, but you know they're going to be well coached, and they're playing here at home.
Let's talk about a couple guys to watch. First of all, for the visiting Mustangs, they run out of a 2 tight end set, and you got to look for Bo Scaife coming out of that tight end position.
When they print next to his name, the man, I mean, he is the man. You always hear in sports, you know, you the man. This guy is the man. He's been recruited nationwide from colleges as far away as Texas, UCLA, Florida. And I talked to Mick McCall. I said, the guy's got the pick of the litter where he wants to go. Had a couple of big touchdowns last weekend, and he is the guy, the go-to guy from Mullen tonight.
Scaife had 3 catches and 2 touchdowns in last week's opener against Montello. The Mustangs have won the toss. Meanwhile, let's talk about Arvada West real quickly. One of their big keys is going to be from the wide receiver spot. Let's watch for Brad Pyatt tonight.
Another guy that's the man, the go-to guy. When you see Brad Pyatt on your screen, he just exudes football. I mean, he is the all-around player. He's got great hands. He's got speed, unbelievable athletic ability. You know, he returned a couple of kickoffs last year, and last week he was great on the return game. He can do it all. Look at his 97 numbers, John. 60 catches, 15 of those into the end zone.
Take a big hand for the Wildcat marching band and a good crowd filing into Jeffco Stadium for tonight's game. Should be lots of people, lots of local attention on this one. So we'll see not just Arvada West and Mullen fans, but we'll see high school football fans from all over.
This is a great game for the fans. And again, when I talked to both coaches earlier this week, Dave Logan and Mick McCall, they said, listen, this game's all about fun. It's all about entertainment. And it's all about excitement. You know, hopefully we're going to get a good game that's going to be balanced, and you're going to see some scoring and some great plays from high school footballers.
Got to be really exciting for some of the players as well. A lot of these players we'll be seeing at Division I colleges, and you have an atmosphere like you did last week with CU against CSU. This is one of those big game type of atmospheres that kids just love to play in.
Hey, you remember going to high school, you wait all day before you got some sporting event. You got to go to class, then you go home, and then you get the game at night. I mean, you're ready to hit somebody on Wednesday, and these guys are no exception. They know that this is a big game. You know, each coach, as I said earlier, kind of downplay it and kind of say, you know, next week's a big game too. I mean, every week is a big game. But come on, when you have number 1 and number 2 going at it, you can't hide the fact that this is going to be a big game. We'll see if Mullen can get off to the start here offensively, because Bo Scaife is their man, the man, as I talked about, and he's going to be here to return off the kickoff.
The kicker for Arvada West is Eric Helgeson. He got a lot into the end zone last week against Fort Collins, so he kicks the ball pretty deep. Back to receive for Mullen.
The big man, Bo Scaife, is back there. You know that. And we'll see if A West even kicks it to him. If they can get this ball into the end zone, as you know, all balls into the end zone are touchbacks, and they'll force Mullen to start it out at the 20-yard line.
Brandon Kinsey is back to receive along with Scaife.
Each team, of course, 1-0 after winning their openers last weekend, and they did it in fine fashion. In fact, A West with the shutout up in Fort Collins, 41-0.
Mullen, meanwhile, beat Montello 42-14. And here we go. A high kick that'll go to the back of the end zone, and there's Helgeson again.
That's exactly, John, what Dave Logan wanted to see. They do not want the ball in the hands of number 86. If they can avoid him anytime, anywhere, that's the game plan.
Starting lineups for the Mullen Mustangs are led by their quarterback, Jared Byerly. In the backfield, you'll see Vern Bond, 5'7", 172-pound senior. The wide receivers are Tim Liley, 6'2", 180-pound senior, along with Ryan Level, 6 foot, 155-pound sophomore. J.D. Chisholm and Bo Scaife are your tight ends. They go out of the one-back set.
Yeah, big O-line, big O-line. They average at 280 for Mullen.
Motion man, and there's a tough snap, but they give it off to Scaife, and Scaife does some running, gets upended after a pickup of about 5 yards. So there's Scaife running out of the backfield. Usually he lines up as a tight end, but we'll see him out of the backfield as well.
Even with a mishandled handoff, still Mullen able to pick up 5 yards on first down and move the football on the left side. As we, I don't think, you know, John, I don't know if we're going to be able to say Scaife's name enough tonight, but you know, your go-to guy, you use him first play of the game.
This time, 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left, 1 back set for the Mustangs on 2nd and 5. A. West in a 4-3 defense. First pass of the night for Byerly, and it's going to be caught. First down for Mullen. The catch made by the wide receiver, Tim Liley. Pickup of about 10.
Just kind of a 2 to 3 step drop by Byerly. You know, fired that one out there, just enough to get the first down, move the sticks. You know, Mullen, when you talk to Mick McCall, he knows that he's got seniors and experience, and he can run guys on and off this field and just kind of go out, and he says he'll take what A. West will give them on defense and go from there.
Your offensive line is Sixberry, Mitchell, Slaby, Anderson, and Kelly across the line from left to right. We'll get to Arvada West defense in just a moment. This is the give to Bond. Bond will fumble. Loose ball on the 50. Arvada West going to try to pick it up, and I think finally the Wildcats will have the ball. Now Mullen says they have it, and I think that the Mustangs might have come away with it.
Let's see what the call is here. Obviously, turnovers are huge in this game. That was one of the fumbling, stumbling fumbles.
That went through 3 Arvada West Wildcat defenders, and finally a Mustang was able to sneak in there at the 49-yard line.
You know who's going to be kicking himself is Scott Lash, who had a chance to grab that one and really change the momentum. Instead, it ends up being a huge pickup for the Mullen offense.
A pickup of about 16 with the fumble, so the Mustangs keep possession and come out in an I formation on this first down. Bond is your motion man. Little counter trade to Scaife. Not much room as Scaife picks up about 3. He's hit by Jeff Flora, the linebacker. Let's give you the Arvada West defense real quickly. Chris Chavez, Joe Knight, Rob Morellas, and Robert Wunderlich are your defensive linemen. They go out of the 4-3 set. Your linebackers, Jeff Flora, Ryan Palmer, and Jaden McNeely. Defensive backs, Mike Duran, Brad Pyatt, Tony Vase, and Jesse Brannon. Second down play for the Mustangs. Play action pass by Byerly. Steps up in the pocket, throws over the middle, almost intercepted. Ryan Palmer had that right in his mitts.
That's 2 strikes against the A. West defense. Ryan Palmer can't believe that Byerly stepped up and threw it right to him. Byerly had a little bit of pressure on him. That pocket collapsed, and he stepped up. I don't know what he was thinking. But Ryan Palmer, who was a second-team All-Stater last year and is going to make some plays for Dave Logan's defense, had a golden opportunity. That's 2 missed opportunities here in the first series for the A. West Wildcats.
So third and about 6 or 7.
First, you know, you don't want to get too early with big plays, but this is a big third down.
Especially for an Arvada West defense. You've heard so much about this Mullen offense being so explosive. Let's see if they can get a stop. Byerly going over the middle, but it goes behind the receiver. It was intended for Scaife.
The tight end, Scaife, the big man, ran the right route. He was open, and Byerly just threw it behind him, but that was well beyond the first down marker. That would have been a first down. Byerly was just off on that one.
Early in the game, Byerly is 1 of 3 for 10 yards.
It's a guy last week that was 5 of 10 for 169, and 2 of his 5 completions went for touchdowns. But that pass there, maybe a little happy feet, maybe a little bit nervous here at the start of this game, and Byerly will be the man back to punt.
Brad Pyatt and Mike Duran, and here's a fake. Good coverage by the Arvada West
It might have been a fumble.
secondary, and let's see who has the ball.
Jesse Brannon came up and stuck Bo Scaife before the first down marker. He must have dropped it, and the refs say fumble, and another break from Mullen.
Well, how many bounces can you have in one drive, Mark?
The man upstairs is looking down on Mullen right now.
You know, it's a Catholic school. You say your prayers, so you got to get a few breaks early.
You know, but if you're Arvada West, you say, listen, those have got to even out during the course of the game.
And now we have a timeout on the field as they move the sticks.
Yeah, I don't think the refs are going to discuss this one, but another fluke pet play, and Mullen gets the advantage. I'll tell you, Jesse Brandon came up, and he stuck Scaife so well that, you know, he caused the fumble.
Pretty good call early on by Mick McCaw. You think you're going to sort of settle into the game, and you might not be expecting it, but Arvada West had it sniffed out. But once again, Mullen was able to fall on the loose ball.
You know what, John? It's a big-time game. Big-time players make big-time plays, and that's what they wanted out of Bo Scaife. They figured he's their man. They might as well give it a shot. And if you're going to have some confidence in your defense, then you say, hey, all right, Arvada West, you know, if you win this battle and get the field position, you know, march down and try to score.
So first down for Mullen. This time they send three receivers out to the left. That's Scaife in motion from left to right. This time the give is off to Johnny Ruff going off the right side, and Ruff is good for a pickup of about 4 or 5.
You know, they sent Scaife in motion, and they ran Ruff that way. And, you know, Bo Scaife can do it all. He's not just a guy that runs the ball and catches it, but, you know, at 6'3", 225, almost 230, he's going to be able to open some holes as well. And I think for the rest of the night, you'll see him leading the way for these backs from Mullen.
Mullen had 2 100-yard runners last week against Montbello and Bond and Ruff. So they've got a few guys who can do it out of the backfield. Byerly will throw on second down. They set up a screen. This is Ruff. Ruff has some running room. Over the 25 to 20. Inside the 15 and finally taken down at the 14-yard line.
You know, they set up that screen nice, and Ruff, they know has the speed to get around some of these defensive linemen, and you know, some of the O-linemen kind of did just enough to get in the way of the path of the AOS Wildcats trying to pursue Ruff, and he has a huge pickup, the biggest pickup in this game so far.
A 21-yard gain for Ruff on the screen.
You know, and you've seen that so far, Mullen's been able to, you know, use their varied playbook and get it done.
Scaife, Level, and Liley are out to the right. Give it straight ahead. This is Bond. Bond running into a couple Arvada West defenders. Pickup of maybe 2 or 3. But big old Robert Wunderlich was there to clean up the pieces.
Wunderlich, the 6'4", 210 senior, going to get his licks in. Another one of those little hesitation plays is they just kind of stutter step and see if they can get the ball on the ground into the end zone.
We've got 8 minutes, 35 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Mullen started this drive on their own 20, and now they have it second down at the AWest 13.
Trying to go 80, and they've got 4 plays to try to get into the end zone.
Vern Bond is your sole back. Byerly will throw into the end zone. He's got a man. It's going to be incomplete. Good job on the corner as they were going for the back of the end zone. It was Mike Duran on the coverage.
Just enough. Maybe got his hands in the face there. And that jump ball doesn't come down into the hands of Ryan LaVille. Now we'll see what Mullen brings out of the playbook here with a 3rd down and goal.
Well, I tell you one of the reasons this game's going to be so much fun to watch. Both teams, they can go from a lot of different formations, got pretty sophisticated sets for high school ball. You don't see this with many high school teams. Byerly on 3rd down. Plenty of time going over the middle. This one's going to be intercepted. Coming back the other way for Arvada West. It's going to be a 1st down at the 30-yard line. It was John Flora with the pick.
John, I talked about the breaks evening out, and on a 3rd and 9, I had said that was 3rd and goal. A 3rd and 9, yes. Mullen could have gotten the 1st down. Flora steps in front of the Byerly pass, and a huge, huge job by the defense for A West.
Well, there's the old analogy of bend but don't break. And John Flora, the brother of Jeff Flora, John's just a sophomore, getting some playing time early on against Mullen, and he makes a big play for the Wildcats. Derek Cavallari is your quarterback. He'll start by throwing on first down. It's going to be a short gain. The reception made by Jeremy Craighead.
Short game, but a gain nonetheless. And Cavallari kind of stepped up in the pocket and almost, quick toss that one. But, Craighead was there with the good hands and at least made some yards on that play. Could have been an incompletion.
Starting offense for Arvada West, Cavallari is your quarterback. Jim Krako and Mike Duran are in the backfield. Brad Pyatt and Jeremy Craighead are the wide receivers. Second down play for the Wildcats. 2 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. We have whistles. There was movement on the offensive line, so Pyatt's first catch won't count.
I think this is going to come back against AOS. A little motion on the line. You see John Hawk, the big senior from Mullen, pointing that way.
Illegal procedure call against Arvada West. Their offensive line, Josh Jones, Eric Fowler, Joe Shepard, Jamie Seek, and Eric Helgeson. Ryan Burnham, the tight end for the Wildcats.
And talking to Dave Logan, don't be surprised if Ryan Burnhorn gets a little action today off the tight end. They say that, they usually don't throw to the tight end. You like to see him get a few grabs in here and kind of do that as a change of pace play on the offense.
So second down, about 10 yards to go. Cavallari steps up in the pocket. He's got a little running room, and you saw Mullen trying to strip the ball away. Good job by the quarterback, Cavallari, to tuck it in as he got some pressure.
Yeah, that doesn't bode well for Cavallari with the offensive line kind of getting scrambled there, and he had to try to make something out of nothing, and lucky that he wasn't stripped of that ball. Third down and 5 coming up for A West.
Set the defense for Mullen. Brandon Richardson, John Hawk, J.P. Murray, and Taylor Ryan across the line. Adam Aloisi, Jorge Terran, and Jay Fast are the linebackers. Clinton, Shaw, Kiley, and Madrid, the defensive backfield. Option play this time. Duran has it, looking for some running room. He's not going to find any. There's a loose ball, and I think the Mustangs might have picked it up.
Yeah, they did, and they're fired up on defense. That play was going nowhere from the get-go. And Mike Duran coughs it up. In great field position here coming up from Mullen.
I think it was Darcy Shaw that finally got on the ball, but so far both teams seem a little bit jittery. We've seen a lot of balls on the field, and you don't expect that from a number 1 and number 2 team.
Turnover is always crucial in all games, but you have to like the defensive pursuit on that play, on that option, that pitch by the Mullen Mustangs. They were all over Duran.
So here come the Mustangs. Second time for Jared Byerly and company.
He's got Scaife out to the left, who's kind of isolated one-on-one.
Plenty of time. Going downfield, and this is going to be caught. What a great catch by Scaife. Scaife, between 2 Arvada West defenders, comes down with it, and Mullen has the first score of the game.
John, I saw that up here coming. He was lined up left one-on-one, and the safety, Scott Lash, really has a responsibility to get over. He did get over. He might have been intimidated by Scaife. He had a chance to at least get up and knock that one down. I know Scaife has some inches on him, but really it seemed like he almost peeled off at the end, and it's 6 on the board from Mullen.
Scaife, 6'4", 225 pounds. It's a big load going downfield. Derek Smith on for the extra point. He was perfect last week, and Smith boots it right through the uprights. So Mullen draws first blood here at Jeffco tonight with 6:14 left in the first quarter. It's 7-0 in favor of the Mustangs.
Be interesting to see what Dave Logan and the A West coaches say to their defensive backs on that play. I said it earlier. You could see that they had Scaife isolated and they want to go to the big man. And it really seemed as if, Scott Lash knew that was coming. He only goes 155, and you mentioned that Scaife's up there around 225, 230. That might have been a factor. But Mullen on the board first in this game here at Jeffco Stadium.
We've got a couple of explosive runners coming back for Arvada West. You've got Pyatt and Duran back there.
Scaife with another touchdown reception after a couple last week. He adds to his total here early in the season.
I know you talked to Mick McCall during the week from Mullen, and he was saying that if we execute, if we do things we're supposed to do, I think we have a pretty good shot against Arvada West, and that was good execution right there.
Yeah, John, pretty confident team, confident coach. He's got 24 seniors returning to this team.
Smith puts his foot into it.
I think
And
Duran's
this will
gonna
go
let
out
this
of
go,
bounds.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll see if they kick it again, and I think that's what's going to happen. How about this, though? A West and Mullen, September the 11th. Like you said at the start, after a week of great college football with CU and CSU. We were talking before the game, and I almost compared it to that because it's just it's so much fun, and the fans get into it. The media, even with some coverage of this game. A lot of fun here early in September.
And a great night for it, about 80 degrees at the start of the ball game.
Can't beat it. Perfect night. No humidity. Actually, a little bit of cloud cover, which dropped the temperature, which was near 90 today at about 5 o'clock.
And Arvada West will take over at 35, high school rules. Say that if you kick the ball out of bounds, you start at 35. So here come the Wildcats in a one-back set with two receivers out to the right, one to the left. See if they try to establish a ground game. Instead, they go back to pass. Short pass, and this is going to be caught. Pickup of about 5, and that was complete to Chad Jones. Jones, the 5'8", 170-pound junior.
Another quickie look for Cavalieri. I think Dave Logan's going to, not ask him to do too much here early on. I think that the head coach of AOS would like to go with one quarterback. Right now he's been splitting time with the senior Cavalieri getting the start and David Wyatt, the junior, coming into the game. That happened last week. He said in practice each guy has really earned the chance to get some playing time with this offense.
Important now for the Wildcats to establish something, get some confidence going. They weren't that successful on their first possession. This time they're looking to get that first down and start some sort of drive. This time Duran shakes a couple tacklers, and he's out across the 45 to the 46-yard line.
Well,
good run by Mike Duran.
Great job by Duran. Saw that it closed up in the middle, broke outside. Quick enough feet to pick up a first down on a play that looked like it was going nowhere.
Also important for Duran personally to get a little confidence. He fumbled the last possession. This time picks up the first down. Now he's right back in the ballgame.
I would think after a 125-yard game in the opener and a touchdown, he's got enough confidence that he's saying, give me that football, give me that rock. I'm ready to take it.
Pyatt out to the right. He's got one-on-one coverage.
Timeout called by Pyatt. He looked at Dave Logan right here on the AOS sideline, and I guess the coach didn't like what he saw, what they had lined up, and Pyatt asked for the timeout and receives it.
First timeout against the Wildcats with 5:03 left in the first quarter. 7-0 in favor of the Mustangs.
We keep talking about Bo Scaife, but on the A-West side, we're going to talk about Brad Pyatt this whole game, who actually got a little nicked in that opener up in Fort Collins, a little bit of a hip flexor, and hopefully he'll be able to go 100% tonight. But he's been courted by CSU, UCLA, Arizona State, Michigan State. He can catch the football. I'm sure he can run a reverse or two or an option. He can score on punts, on kickoffs. He's the do-it-all guy.
Well, we've seen him do a little of everything so far tonight.
And, Dave Logan knows he has got to get him involved in the offense, and you got to figure out a way to get him the football in order to get on the scoreboard.
Well, you mentioned that Mullen returns 24 seniors from last year's team. Arvada West lost a couple key players. We'll get into a couple of those players, but probably most significantly, they lose Cutlip, the quarterback. So after the timeout, here come the Wildcats. Play action pass. Cavalieri throwing downfield. He's got a man. It's going to be a first down all the way down to the 34-yard line. Coming out of the backfield was Jeff Flora.
The linebacker pulling one in. He almost dropped that one, but he held on to it. That's a different look that A-West has, and they got to love that one going for a big gain and going for a first down.
A 25-yard catch for Flora.
Athletes are athletes, and Flora at 6'2", 220, if he can grab a few and have that kind of size, he'll do some damage.
Straight ahead running this time, and good yardage, pickup of about 7.
Duran again, just kind of put his head down, had his blockers, picked his spots, and moving the football. It's what A-West likes to see.
So a second down and short coming up for A-West.
John, you mentioned the name Steve Cutlip not here. Saw him on the sidelines for CSU. You know what number he wears, number 7. And I know that he's met John Elway a time or two, and just a matter of time before he starts throwing the football for the Rams.
Second down and short, this time in I formation for the Wildcats.
Going to try to pound it here.
Duran straight ahead, and that time good penetration by Brandon Richardson. Brandon Richardson, 2 sacks against Montbello, so he can get back to hit the running back or the quarterback. He's a 6'2", 251-pound senior.
And did he explode into the backfield? And that one might have gone for a loss of a yard, or at the best, back to the line of scrimmage. Richardson was right there to meet Duran.
Duran early on, 4 carries for 15 yards. The leading A-West runner so far. So big third down for the A-West offense.
Big third down play.
Straight ahead running this time. This is Krako, the fullback, and he's good for about a yard, but it's going to be 4th and about 1.
Now, let's see what A-West decides to do here, because I'll tell you, Mullen again off of that defensive line quick and almost a step into the backfield, and Krako was nailed right off the bat. Here comes Flora into the game.
Craighead also comes into the game. Looks like they're going to go for it.
They're at least going to show maybe a little passing formation here. Flora had that reception earlier. Pyatt's going to come out to the right. And you've got Craighead going out to the left. And maybe Flora's going to try to lay a little lick on somebody, and they'll run this one again with Duran.
2 tight end set with Duran as the running back. Long count. Quarterback sneak, and let's see if he got the push.
Got a flag on the
Flag
play.
down.
This all depends on the spot here, John, but the flag comes up. We'll see what the call is. It could have been maybe even a face mask down there underneath. We'll see which way this one goes. But you had a feeling when they brought in the 2 tight end set that A-West was going to try to just use a little brute force and grab the first down.
From the spot, it looks like they've got plenty of room for a first down.
They're going to call for the chains.
It's a personal foul against...
Yep. I got a funny feeling it was maybe some kind of pushing and grabbing underneath that pile. And maybe somebody nailed the face mask of Cavalieri. But an important 4th down play and a first down conversion for A-West.
So you get the first down, and then you get the extra 15 yards.
Huge.
Now, last week, that was Mullen's only problem. They were penalized a lot. 12 penalties against the Mustangs in the opener.
This moves the ball all the way down to the 12-yard line. So still, Arvada West can come up with a first down without getting into the end zone.
Motion leaves no one in the backfield. Here's the rollout, plenty of room. Now he'll run, tucks it under his arm, and gets down close to the 5-yard line.
You know, I think that was a great play by Cavalieri. Brad Pyatt was covered. So was his secondary receiver. Kind of just put it down, gave just a little ball fake, and picking up some yards.
That's a sign of what you see with the coaching. You look for a man, you look for your second receiver. If you don't have a man, just tuck it underneath your arm and pick up some yardage.
Great call, John. You know, you just kind of put it down, and you don't want to turn the ball over. You just want to kind of keep the possession. You are down in the red zone. You want to make sure you get 6 here.
It was a pickup of 7. So second and a long 3 for A-West. This is Duran. Duran cutting up inside the hole, gets maybe about 1. He was tripped up by Taylor Ryan, the defensive end.
Taylor Ryan did just enough to get off the block of Ryan Burhorn, who moved that way. And Duran really, I thought he had a seam. He was going to be able to split it and maybe get into the end zone. But Taylor just kind of held off, and did enough to get a hand in there and trip him up.
So third and about 3.
As we come almost near the end of this first quarter.
47 seconds left.
See if A-West can get it in here and make it the kind of game we at least thought it would be from the start.
Straight ahead running this time and putting his head down and bulling his way close to the first down is Chad Jones.
Now remember, A-West can get a first down here without getting a touchdown. And they might have to measure this one. And make the call.
Well, before last play, I was going to say, I wonder if we're in 4-down territory, and I think they'll take a look at how close they are to the first down, but if you've got less than a yard, I think you probably try to go for it again.
Without a doubt. And I think that the refs are going to call for a measurement here, and they'll bring the chains out. They will indeed. And we'll see just how close Chad Jones moved this football. A-West using all their personnel. Jones has gotten the call. Of course, Mike Duran has. The fullback, Krako, had a run, and that's a first down for Arvada West, and that is big. And now you have 4 downs, John, just to go a yard.
Nice, resilient drive by the Wildcats.
Holding on to the ball, too, using some clock. That's one way of keeping Mullen off the scoreboard, you know.
Yeah, I'm not sure Dave Logan and his staff wanted to see a track meet tonight.
Jones, again, is the lone runner in the backfield behind Cavallari.
This time a long count by Cavallari. Give it to Jones. Jones straight ahead, trying to dive into the end zone. He's going to be just short. Stopped at about the 1.
And instead of diving into the end zone, I think he dove into Big John Hawk. You know when you meet John Hawk. He's the guy that led Mullen to the 5A basketball championship last March at McNichols Arena. They were kind of surprise winners, but he is definitely the emotional leader of this team.
Yeah, he had him going before the game as we come to the end of the first quarter with the score Mullen 7 and Arvada West nothing. But getting back to John Hawk, he really was pumping his team up. He was getting everybody going. He was the guy that everyone was looking to for defense or for leadership, especially on the defensive side. He's
the senior, Ben Hare, done that, and he's the big man that they look for. You know, it's 7-0 after a quarter, after 12 minutes, but you know, Arvada West has a great shot here to even up the score and tie this game as we start the second quarter. So far in the first quarter, I do not think, if I can remember right, that A-West was able to get the ball to Brad Pyatt, who runs and lines up wide right here, way out to the right.
That's good call, Mark. You're exactly right.
I think his one catch was called back because of an offside, a motion penalty.
Now, the fullback Krako is an excellent blocker. He's really well known at Arvada West for being a lead blocker. Jones lines up behind him. Second down play. And this is Jones behind Krako into the end zone for the Arvada West touchdown.
Almost waltzed in. What a hole that Krako had. I don't even know if he had to hit anybody, but that opened up right off the bat. And Jones scores the first touchdown of the night for Arvada West.
I'll give credit to big old Joe Shepard and Jamie Seek up on the offensive line. And Seek is their probably the best offensive lineman for Arvada West. They ran right behind him and put it in the end zone.
Grant Palin here for the extra point, if indeed Arvada West decides to kick this.
Snap is good, the hold, and the kick is up, and it's good. So Arvada West answers Mullen's opening touchdown. They come back, and with 11:57 left in the first half of play, we've got a tie ball game.
Tie game, kind of what we expected to happen here at Jeffco Stadium between these two top-ranked teams. Teams have played twice last year and split the season series, with Arvada West winning the important game in the first round of the playoffs, 31-15, that vaulted them to the 5A championship last year. I wouldn't really say that each team was kind of feeling the other team out here in the first quarter in the early goings. They used their weapons. I think that maybe Arvada West had to be a little bit more creative, although in the end they kind of just ran the ball and ran it into the end zone for 6.
I think we've eased on into the game enough, and both teams look pretty comfortable right now. Got the pregame jitters all done with.
Another big kickoff for 74, the starting right tackle, that man you see on your screen, Eric Helgelson. His job here is to put the ball in the end zone. That's it, his only job.
And it looks like he'll do just that. Another touchback for Helgeson, and he continues his string of excellent kickoffs for the Wildcats.
Just try to keep the ball away from Brandon Kinsey and Bo Scaife. Field position always critical in every game. And Mullen will have to go 80 in order to score if they can on this drive in the series. Remember, they were the beneficiary of some breaks early on in this game. Got to tell you that Gerard Byerly not looking especially sharp in the earlier offensive series.
One back set to start out, and they give it straight ahead to Bond, Vern Bond, and he gets about 2 yards on the first down play.
Not much there as Joe Knight, the 5'10", 200-pound junior, number 69. Nice leg tackle on Bond. Now here's Scaife again, lined up wide right and lined up one-on-one with Jesse Brandon.
Byerly looking for him. And this is going to be caught. It's going to be a first down, and that time it was Ryan Level coming up with a reception, a pickup of about 10 for the Mustangs.
Yeah, just as I said that, he goes the other way. But that's almost another tactic that you can use when you have a guy like Scaife that is such a weapon. Line him up there, far right. I think Arvada West was doing that too with Brad Pyatt, and try to have him gain all the attention and then go the other way.
Byerly is 4 of 8 early on in the second quarter. This time they give straight ahead to Bond. Bond with some running room. And Bond picks up about 13 yards all the way to the 45-yard line.
He could have went all the way, except Scott Lash came up and knocked him down and bumped him down. But that hole opened up, and he was off to the races.
Bond last week, 5 carries, 114 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Gotta like that average.
That gets it done.
Yeah. Can't ask for much more than that. Tonight, Bond 4 carries for 32 yards.
So far, Mullen's been able to mix it up. Pass, run, run, pass. You know, they like to do it 50-50 if they can.
Level and Lively off to the left. Scaife was off to the right. This time they go straight downfield. It's going to be another big pickup for the Mustangs. Ryan Level taking the ball all the way down to the AOS 28-yard line.
Wide open on the seam route. Byerly had the protection at the time. Sank it in there. Level grabs it. Another huge pickup as they go pass, run, and back to the pass. And that's moving the chains more than Arvada West wants them to.
Mark, a little bit like 2 heavyweight fighters just going back and forth. One team gives their best shot, then the other team comes right back.
Lash comes off, and Pyatt's in at safety for A. West.
Movement on the defensive line. Let's see if they get A. West with the offside.
We'll see what the call is here. There's a possibility that somebody might have jumped. Sixberry looked like he came up, but he didn't. Might have been a little bit of a hard count by Byerly, and the penalty goes against Arvada West.
So that'll set up a 1st and 5, 10:08 left in the second quarter.
1st and 5 from the 23. And now it gives Mullen even more options. Scaife lined up on his own to the left side.
It's Gilbert Gregg in the slot for Mullen. There's a pump and go. Going for the end zone. This is going to be well ahead of the receiver. Incomplete pass on 1st down.
Tim Lilly didn't get off of that very quick. If that was a pump and a go route, I think he should have been. I think the go part was missing in that one. I think he should have gone a little bit faster because Byerly threw that one all the way down near the pylon, down near the goal line.
Well, that's all timing. Also in practice, they say make the pump and then get the ball out there, and it's up to the receiver to go grab it. Scaife off to the left side. Dern has a man-on-man. This is Bond on across the right side, and Bond's got a 1st down pickup all the way to the 15-yard line.
Almost skipped his way up there, John. He just kind of had a little skip step and ends up getting the 1st down.
Tony Bass was there to make the hit.
Now here's where if you want to do a timing route or a pump fake, you might want to go to Scape. I almost thought that Gerard Byerly was going to do that earlier, where he pumps one way and then goes against the grain and goes back to Scape on the left side. We'll see if that happens here, although Scape is in the backfield. He might go in motion. He might get the call here. He might carry it.
Scaife off the left side. Scaife with a little running room, maybe a pickup of 2, but a good job there by Rob Morellas.
Yeah, Palmer and Morellas up at the line to stuff that one, and Scaife really couldn't get off. You know, once Scaife gets that momentum going, he's so big that he's going to be able to carry a guy or two, but Arvada West was able to get up on the line and stuff him.
He just has to fall forward, and he'll make about 3 or 4 yards.
Almost. That's why they give him the ball here.
Second down from the 13-yard line. Counter tray again. This time, good defense by Arvada West as Jeff Flora was there to make the hit.
Yeah, defense is buckling down here in the trenches in the red zone. And it'll bring up a third down.
They were hitting a back in Johnny Ruff, who had a pretty good game against Montbello himself. He went for over 100 yards last week as well.
You know, we figure with that big offensive line that I said at the start of the game that averages 280, that Mullen is just going to keep pounding the ball and try to wear down the defensive line of the Wildcats.
Second or third down, about 5. Ruff is your sole back. Byerly will throw out to the right, and this is going to be incomplete. Very close, and Tim Liley thought he had a touchdown, but the official was right there to make the call. And the ball hit the ground before Liley could come up with it.
I don't think that's a pick, but they run a play there where Ryan Level kind of cuts inside and almost acts as a screen to the defenders, and then they go out to Liley, who's lined up far out as a wideout. And it didn't work. And it looks like Mullen's going to set up and try to go for 3.
Derek Smith on for his first field goal attempt of the year. About a 27-yard attempt. Snap. The kick is up, and it's good. So the Mustangs answer Arvada West with a field goal. And
you know what? You'll see some clapping on the sidelines, on the Arvada West sidelines for that defense, buckling down and stopping a team that just had a couple of huge gainers, not only on the run but through the air. They threw that almost that tight end seam route to Ryan Level, who grabbed that one for a big gain, and then there was Bond running for a huge gain. They buckled down and are able to just keep them to a field goal.
So here's the situation. 7:51 left in the second quarter. It's 10-7 in favor of the Mustangs.
And we'll see if Brad Pyatt is able to get his hands on the ball here, get some good field position. If not, he's always a threat to bring it back and get into the end zone.
Both Pyatt and Duran have blazing speed.
3 phases of every game: offense, defense, and the special teams.
And so many times in high school especially, you'll find that the special teams really dictate the outcome of a close game.
The game breakers.
A high kick takes a bounce and goes out of bounds. So Arvada West starts at the 35-yard line once again.
Well, they're not kicking it to Pyatt or Duran, but they're not getting it to the end zone either. We'll see how creative the A West offense is on this series. They've got the fullback Krako in for this first play.
Well, we saw him do a lot of different things. We saw him run straight ahead. We saw him roll out, a few drop-back traditional pocket passes. You get lots of different looks with this Arvada West team.
Let's try to keep the defense off balance.
Mullen plays that 4-3 defense, and they got a bunch of big old linemen. This time it's a pitch. Duran wants to throw.
Pyatt's open.
Going downfield, almost caught at the 25-yard line. Duran just over the outstretched hands of Pyatt.
What an arm for a tailback. He aired that one out. You could see as he got it, he was just waiting to see if Pyatt, who I think kind of did a stutter and then broke out, was going to make that run. Duran really aired it out too much. That was almost a big hitter. And you know that Dave Logan likes to do that on a first play of an offensive series, really come back with something special. Didn't work that time.
Well, we've seen a trick play from both teams now. That by Arvada West. We saw the fake punt earlier by Mullen. Every team going into a ball game has just a few of those tricks up their sleeve.
A couple of different wrinkles.
So back in the backfield is Jones. New quarterback into the game is Dave Wyatt.
John Hawk up to knock this one down. Wyatt's first pass. Almost into the face mask of number 58. The big guy I know he can jump on the basketball court playing hoops for Mullen, and he got up on that one and knocked that one down, and brings up a third down. A 3rd and 10.
Well, you sort of wonder if Arvada West will maybe rotate the quarterbacks in terms of quarters the first half and then see who's most effective, or maybe rotate the quarterbacks throughout the game.
Dave Logan told me that's what he's doing for now. Each quarterback has, earned his keep during practice, earned some playing time.
3rd down and 10 for the Wildcats. Wyatt going down the sideline, and this is going to be incomplete. He was trying
to get it to Pyatt. I don't know whether he kind of threw that one to the outside. Pyatt was kind of going on the inside. Pyatt looks to me like he's just not at 100% on those runs. You could tell it on the earlier one when he laid out and tried to grab it. And as he comes to the sideline, I see him, motioning that he went on the inside and that pass went to the outside. Now, whether the pass was there or not, that's the question. That's what the discussion's about. A West is going to have to punt this one away. High snap.
Duran gets the punt off. They'll let it bounce and pick it up. This is Ruff coming back the other way, and he gets about 8 on the return.
Somebody got just nailed on the sideline there. I don't know. Mike McCall's looking at the ref looking for a late hit over there.
But when the crowd groans, you know it was a hit. You heard a few groans on the side of the stadium.
Trying to figure out what Johnny Ruff was doing with that punt. I don't know whether he got it in the lights, because I thought he was going to grab it right away, lets it bounce, and still even picking it up on the bounce, able to get a few yards. Here again is where the A-West defense has to do what they did in the last series. Get stout on that line, buckle down, and try to hold Mullen.
Vern Bond is back into the game as the back. And he's got it running straight ahead. Bond breaks a couple tackles.
Uh-oh, he
Bond
might get
breaks out
outside.
to the left side, and he'll pick up about 8 yards. Nice running there by the senior.
Thankfully, Robert Wunderlich back from his defensive end position to bring Bond down, who just, almost like a pinball. He knows he's going to get some room from that O-line. When you got Sixberry going 315, well over three bills, there's going to be some space opened up.
Bond,
And, he's just going to pick his moves, pick spots, and if he can get outside, then it's off to the races.
Bond, 6 carries, 48 yards. It's an average of 8 per carry. Not bad. Play action pass. Byerly going downfield. Throws into double coverage, and good job that time by the Arvada West defense. It was Tim Riley that was streaking down the middle of the field.
Going for the home run on the play action. Even though they only needed a couple of yards for a first down, I thought they might just try to run it again.
So 3rd and short coming up. What do you do right here, Mark? You're going to run it? You're going to throw it? What do you do?
I say you run it. They're almost, with the offense they have with Scaife and with the way that Bond's been able to run, you just kind of run it here, and if you can't beat this line, you do it again. They might even go 4 downs here.
Offensive line average is about 280 yards, and this is going to be close to the first down.
This all depends on the spot, John. I don't think they got it. I think they might be about a ball short.
Well, it looks like we'll bring them the sticks for this one.
Without a doubt, but like I expected, they just tried to pound it up the middle. This one's short. We can see from up here that I think this one is just going to be short. It's not going to be past the stick. Now the question is, what do you do here if it's 4th and inches?
Hey, if I'm Mick McCall, I say, hey, my guys, about 280, 290 pounds, We're ranked anywhere from 5 to 15 in the nation, ranked number 1 in the state. I got to have confidence that we can pick up about a half a yard.
Not even. We're talking 3 inches here. Maybe they'll go with the keep. Maybe they'll let Byerly, who looks like he's got a little weight behind him, just kind of keep this one and go behind that line. But that line is the key you've already mentioned.
And you've also got Scaife
You
running
do.
out of the backfield.
You don't want to forget about the guy. He's got a touchdown catch, but they ran him a little bit off tackle. And we'll see where he lines up now. They're going to have him line up as a tight end this time around.
This time a 2 tight end set.
And they might just run Byerly here on a keeper.
Straight ahead to Bond, and Bond burrows his way for a couple of yards in the Mullen first down.
It's all they needed, 3 inches, and they got about 2 feet. Byerly, we've been talking about Scaife and about this offensive line, but don't forget about Gerard Byerly, who's the senior who broke his collarbone midway through the season last year. And when you make a change at quarterback on the high school level midway through the season, that really disrupts your offense. Well, he is back, and he's a senior, and he's leading this team.
Johnny Ruff into
There's
the
movement.
game. We have movement.
Snap count wasn't happening on that one because there was more than one Mullen Mustang that moved. Not only some of the linemen, the wideouts also jumping on that one.
Sometimes you have selective hearing in that huddle.
And this will push it back 5 yards and make it 1st and 15 for Mullen from their own. I guess it moves it back to their own 43.
5:54 left in the first half. Byerly going downfield. This is going to be tipped and intercepted. Coming back the other way, it's Jesse Brannon. Brannon down the sideline, flag down. Brannon cuts back at the 20 and gets to the 13-yard line. But don't forget the flag on the return. Either way, Arvada West comes up with the big turnover.
Ryan Level had to get turned around. It goes off his hand, and it goes into the arms of Jesse Brannon. He was right there, Johnny on the spot.
A clip on the return, so you'll march him back 15 yards from the 34. Arvada West will take over at the Mullen 49-yard line.
Dave Logan is not going to be happy with this call. Whoever came up with what it looked like, it was even the ref even said it might have been a chop block. Either way, it's an illegal block. Not happy when you pick a ball off, you get a turnover, and you move it down that far. And I think he's going to go back on this series to quarterback Derek Cavalieri. Cavalieri's coming in here as he gets the call from Dave Logan. This brings it all the way back to midfield, basically.
But still, a big turnover for Arvada West.
Brings it back pretty much to where that pickoff, that INT, that pick occurred.
I formation for A West. Straight ahead running by Jones. Jones is good off the right side for about 4 yards.
Junior tailback getting some work tonight. There's another chance, if Arvada West can do it, to take a little clock here. Keep the ball on the ground, try to move the sticks, and if they can get in the end zone, they can, think about getting into halftime with the lead.
And we're seeing a lot of players sort of shuffled in and out, and I think early on in the season especially, it's important to do that. You want to develop your players, but you also want to stay away from that fatigue factor. 2nd and 6. I formation behind Cavalieri. And this time good running again by Jones. He's about 2 yards shy of the first down. It'll set up a 3rd down for the Wildcats.
We'll see what they do here in 3rd and short, whether they try to do something a little fancy or just keep pounding it. See the senior number 1, Mika Baldino, coming into the game, and he'll be lined up to the right side. Don't see Brad Pyatt in there. Pyatt is here on the near side.
Long count, trying to draw Mullen offside. Now they give it to Duran. Duran with plenty of running room. Duran down to the 30 and finally pushed out of bounds at the 29-yard line.
He's pushed out of bounds by Brandon Kinsey. Kinsey had to come all the way up from the safety spot in order to make that tackle. That was an easy first down running off the left side for A West.
Duran's longest run of the night, and a good job by that left side of the offensive line.
They grabbed a bunch of yards on that one.
Four minutes and 8 seconds left in the first half. Arvada West threatening inside the Mullen 30-yard line.
See if they keep it on the ground again.
Play action pass. Cavallari in a whole lot of trouble, but he gets it off. It's going to be incomplete.
Awesome job by Cavallari just to not go down on that one. I mean, he was in the grasp of Adam Alois and had enough presence of mind to get that arm back and be able to get that pass off. It went to no man's land, but he got it off.
That was his first incompletion of the game. He's only had 4 passes, but still he's a very accurate passer.
You're avoiding about a 10-yard loss there, too, on that potential sack.
Krakow and Duran behind Cavallari. Mullen threatening with the blitz. Here they come. They pick it up. Duran trying to run off the right side, and he shakes a couple Mullen tacklers down to the 25.
A good pickup on the blitz. I think that they'll take that 5 yards on second down after the near sack. You called it. Mullen tried to stick the run there, and it was picked up in enough yards there to make this at least an easier third down situation.
Well, Mullen was sending a linebacker right through where Duran wanted to run, and it was an excellent job by Jim Krakow, the fullback, to pick up the stunt.
Krakow's been impressive tonight. He led the way on the lone touchdown so far this evening for A West.
Third down play. Cavallari throws a quick pass, and he's got Pyatt. Pyatt inside the 10, touchdown Arvada West.
You knew it was coming. Pyatt's the man on this team. I'm talking offense. He plays defense. He plays special teams. Just a little quick hitch inside. And as you said, Cavallari on the money, and you get the ball into Pyatt's hands, and things happen quickly.
Well, you had to get him involved sometime. You knew he wouldn't be quiet the whole night. And you can see the quick strike capability of the senior, Brad Pyatt. Extra point is up, and this is no good.
Yeah, Palin missed that one. Wide to the left. And that'll keep the score 13-10. A West up by a field goal. You called it, John. You knew that Pyatt was going to get involved in this game. Earlier they had the halfback option on the pass that would have went for 6. He laid out, but he was overthrown. His first reception of the game was called back because of a motion penalty. And between that and that option, there wasn't a whole lot with Pyatt. And now they come back to him here on that little hitch inside, and he gets into the end zone.
Well, you saw the score there, and with 3:14 left, now Mullen has a chance to come back. And, Mike, you get the idea that this is going to be sort of fun watching the rest of this one.
You get the idea that your last shot's going to win it, Whoever has the ball when the 24-second clock is winding down might be able to win this one. Well, this is what we expected, though, with the top 2 5A teams in the state going at it here at Jeffco Stadium. I'll have to say it again. I don't want to estimate this, but Helgelson's going to try to get it into the end zone again. And he does it. This is his job. I mean, that almost went for 3. I mean, that was to the back of the end zone.
Maybe they could have him kick the point after from the 30.
That's his job on kickoffs, and he's done it already. As he comes off with the tee, he gets handshakes.
Well, let's see how Byerly responds from the interception.
I don't know what his numbers are. You might have them there, but he has not been especially sharp. That last pass off the fingertips, and he threw one right into the numbers of Ryan Palmer, who dropped it earlier.
5 of 12 with 2 interceptions. This time they run, and it's going to be Bond with a pickup of 5.
Yeah, tough sledding there, but he still, on first down, is able to get some decent yards. Just kind of curling and weaving and bobbing and doing whatever he can to grind it out.
Now remember, this clock stops with every first down, so Mullen doesn't have to be in a total hurry-up offense. You're under 3 minutes. You want to pick up a couple first downs in and out of the huddle quickly, but you don't have to go to a complete 2-minute offense.
We saw Pyatt get into the offense for A West. See if Scaife can counter here for Mullen.
Bond off the right side.
Wunderlich, good stick on the line. He came up, and then he got some help from Flora, I think. Good job of the defense.
I think Mullen trying to get a little field position before they start throwing the ball late in the first half.
You know, Wunderlich's a player, and he smelled that one and was able to knock that one down. My bad, that was Rob Meyerles, actually, who, regardless, was a great play. Really corralling that.
2 receivers to the left. Scaife in motion. We have whistles. Might be too many men on the field.
Delay of game.
Delay of game.
As we go into the 2-minute mark.
So that'll set up 3rd down and 9. And once again, penalties killing Mullen.
It's such a big part of every game, but even more so in the high school game. Now, if Arvada West can hold here, bring back a punt decent, they've got some timeouts, be able to try to move the ball and get some more points on the board before the half.
Liley and Level out to the left on this 3rd down play. Byerly will throw. Arvada West with the blitz. Going deep down the left side, and that's going to be a great catch, and then incomplete.
I think he might have bounced after he brought that in. Level brought it in, and the ground kind of just knocked that one out. I mean, he was laid out for that. Would have been a great catch.
Ryan Level almost making the catch, but now, with 1:48 left, Arvada West is going to get the ball back.
And Mullen's going to have to punt the ball to Mr. Excitement. Mr. I just scored a touchdown, Brad Pyatt. And they'll throw Durham back there with him as well. For blocking help, for running, either of these guys can break it. And Gerard Byerly, the quarterback, is the punter, and he's all the way back at his 6-yard line.
That makes the extra threat of having a punter who can throw the ball. I don't think they'll do it right here with this field position, but it's something to keep in mind for later.
Good punt.
Fair catch called for. Arvada West, they pick it up. And coming back the other way, it's going to be Pyatt.
There's a flag on the play.
And now what happened is Duran called for the fair catch. So once you call for the fair catch, you can't run it back. Pyatt came over and picked it up, so I think what we'll have is an illegal fair catch.
Yeah, unless it was touched, I think, by a Mullen player. That's the only way that he could pick it up and go with it. Yeah, kind of another costly mistake because it's going to move that offense back in with 1:35 to go in the half. Just, add on yards.
Well, Arvada West will start in decent field position.
Decent, but not as decent.
Okay, the drive will start from the 39. Here comes Derek Cavallari and company. 2 receivers to the left, Pyatt out to the right. Jones is your running back on 1st down for the Wildcats. Cavallari looking right, and this is going to be caught. This is Pyatt again. Over the 40, inside the 30. There goes Pyatt, all the way down to the 12-yard line, and boy, can that guy run.
Similar play that he just scored on in the earlier series, the series before this. Just kind of that quick cut in the middle. And, once he gets his hands on the ball, he's Mr. Excitement. Pyatt comes out now, calling for a sub, but huge, huge first play of this series. I mean, you're all the way down to the 14-yard line.
A 48-yard gain, and the clock ticks now with 1:23, but Arvada West now with plenty of time.
That's what he wanted to do when he grabbed that punt. He wanted to get down to the 14. He's there, though, on one reception in this series.
So if I can't do it on the punt, I'll do it now. I formation, Durham straight ahead, spins, getting some yardage to about the 10-yard line, pickup of 4 for Durham.
And here's where they'll try to do a little clock management as it runs under a minute. They can keep the clock running and call some plays and try to get into the end zone without any time left in the half.
This is always the time where you feel a little impatience by the crowd. They're saying, let's go, let's go, let's go. But Arvada West knows exactly what they're doing. They don't want to leave any time on the board for Mullen. 36 seconds left.
Ball's on the 10.
I formation behind Cavallari, and he'll call a timeout. So he saw something in the defense that I didn't like, and we've got half a minute left in the first half. Arvada West threatening with a 13-10 lead.
Knowing Dave Logan, who comes out to the huddle, you get the feeling that he has this all planned. This kind of a situation in a game, he has this planned out, and he probably said, listen, look around. When it gets down to 30 seconds, half a minute, get me a timeout, and we'll go from there. They still have...
you can't take the timeouts with you either.
Right.
You've got plenty of time.
They still have 3 downs, second, third, and fourth down here to try to get into the end zone, unless they want to kick, but you assume they're going to want to get into the end zone because that's why they're going to want to run the clock down so that they don't have to give the ball back and try to get 6 here. And I'm sure that's what he's discussing with his offense. But you know that these kind of situations in games have already been pre-planned by the coaching staff.
Well, so far the story of the first half has been some Mullen mistakes and Arvada West's ability to capitalize on the mistakes. And right now they have a perfect opportunity to capitalize on a penalty by Mullen on their last possession.
Doesn't matter how big you are, how fast you are. Can't make mistakes. You got to make plays. Brad Pyatt has made 2 huge plays, scoring on a pass play, and then coming up with a 48-yard reception to get the ball basically to where it is now.
Brad Pyatt being heavily recruited by CU, and I'm sure the Buff fans would love to see him in black and gold in his college playing days. Cavallari back to throw. Flushed out of the pocket, throwing, and this is going to be caught. Touchdown, Duran. Mike Duran with the touchdown, and A. West has a 9-point lead.
Mick McCall's not going to like that. It was too easy. They had a little bit of pressure on Cavallari, but he was able to step up, and then they saw Duran come out of the backfield, and the tailback was wide open. You saw him walk in and just hold the ball over the line. And this home crowd loving it as we near halftime, as Arvada West is on the board again.
Cavallari with an outstanding first half, 6 of 7 with 2 touchdowns. Palin on for the extra point, trying to make it 20-10. The snap, ball down, kick is up, and that one's no good either. So 2 missed extra points, but Arvada West still leads 19-10, and you wonder if that's going to come back to haunt a little bit later.
I don't know whether it's going to come back to haunt him, but I know that Dave Logan's going to think we might want to go and try to punch that in for 2 if that's going to continue happening. And as he goes right over to Palin to talk to him. His last 2-point after is going wide left.
Well, Mullen started things off. A 33-yard touchdown pass to Scaife made it 7-0. Arvada West answered right back. Jones with a 1-yard touchdown plunge to make it 7-7. Mullen went ahead 10-7 on a 27-yard field goal, but Arvada West with touchdown catches by Pyatt and then Duran come back and take the lead almost at halftime, 19-10. 23 seconds left in the first half, and right now here's Helgeson.
Going to kick it away. Defense just has to, stick a play or 2 and get into the locker room, and then Arvada West will begin the second half with the football on offense. I don't know whether I've ever seen an offensive lineman kick off, but this guy's doing a heck of a job. He lumbers up there and gets the toe ball out and does it again.
That guy's just automatic. It's not fair. They should make him kick from the 20.
You got a guy like 6'3", 230, just up there kicking off. We'll see what Mullen tries to do. They got some weapons. We'll see if they try to go long. And I'm sure Logan will tell his defense, listen, we're going to play, you hate that cliche, the prevent defense, but you do not want to give up anything big here.
Well, let's see what Mullen does. Let's see if they come out gunning or if they just lick their wounds and go in at halftime. I think they probably come out gunning. Here's Byerly. Byerly going deep down the sideline. It's going to be overthrown That pass intended for Tim Liley.
I don't know how quick Liley is, but he let that ball go early, and Liley was, he's 15 yards away from that. I'll tell you who had a better chance of catching that ball was the safety out there for A West, Dirk Cisneros. And that he even overthrew the safety.
Well, we've seen some good things and some bad things from Byerly here in the first half. One touchdown pass, couple
A West
interceptions.
fans are getting fired up here.
Byerly will throw on second down. Almost the same place. Scaife comes up with the catch. He was juggling it, and they're going to give him possession at the 41-yard line.
That's an unbelievable catch. I mean, he tipped that to himself 3, 4, 5 times, stayed in bounds, and then got out of bounds to stop the clock. That's just an example. You're talking talent there. Now you know why when college coaches see that on film that they get from these games, they say, we might want to be able to get this guy into our program.
Might be making a few phone calls, writing a few letters to Mr. Scaife.
Oh, we got a penalty. We had a flag on this play. So the flag way over on the 20-yard line. Well, you can see it right there. They're going to pick it up, and this one's going to come on. That great catch goes for naught.
So once again, Mullen shoots itself in the foot. Maybe you can play toe-to-toe with Arvada West, but you can't play toe-to-toe against Arvada West and against yourself. So 12 seconds left after the penalty. And Byerly will just take a knee. So that's the way the first half is going to end. Impressive half of football by the Wildcats.
Yeah, you had the feeling that it might not be that way after Mullen came out and got some breaks on their first series and, had a fake punt that went their way after a fumble and they ended up scoring. But A West, the defense buckled down and they were able to answer and get some points on the board.
Well, the Mustangs started strong, but the Wildcats finished a little stronger, and we go to halftime with the score, 19-10 in favor of Arvada West. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back for the second half. We're back for the second half here at Jeffco Stadium. John Knopf along with Mark Stout. 19-10 in favor of the Arvada West Wildcats in a battle of number 1 versus number 2. Mullen struck early, but Arvada West came back, and they have the 9-point halftime lead. And really an impressive performance by the Wildcats in the first half.
Yeah, especially after Mullen got on the board first, you're kind of thinking, oh no, this could be a night for the visiting team. But as you said, the defense really buckled down and did the job. And, Brad Pyatt's been the game breaker that he is with a big catch for a touchdown and another catch that set up a touchdown.
The Wildcats have 60 yards on the ground. They're led by Mike Dern, 8 carries, 34 yards. Derek Cavallari with a very nice first half, 6 of 8, 112 yards and 2 touchdowns. The most thrilling of those was the touchdown to Brad Pyatt. For the Mullen Mustangs, they had 85 yards on the ground. Jared Byerly, the quarterback, 5 of 15, 98 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. I think maybe the story of the first half, Mark, was mistakes by Mullen turned into Arvada West points.
And the amazing thing is that Mullen made even more mistakes, breaks that ended up going their way. They fumbled the ball early on, and it came back to them. They got the lucky bounce. Byerly threw one right into the numbers of Ryan Palmer, the linebacker, and he dropped. With linebackers, you can't throw it right in the numbers because forget about it. And they can make a catch over their head. But, some of those breaks went their way, and I had mentioned at that time that they're going to even out, and they really have.
Well, I got to think that Mick McCall and the coaching staff of Mullen really talked about that at halftime and said, hey, guys, we just can't shoot ourselves in the foot like this.
You're talking about a 9-point game, too, at halftime. Certainly a game that, Mullen can get back into quickly. They're going to have to stop A West as the Wildcats will go on offense here to begin the second half.
Well, Dern and Pyatt will be back to receive the kick.
Each guy's got a touchdown tonight, through the air.
Derek Smith, the Mullen kicker, and we're ready to go for the second half of play. This will be the First touchback.
Yeah, the old high school touchback.
Yep. They had kicked the ball out of bounds on a couple of their kickoffs, but now Arvada West will start at their own 20.
You know, even the little things, I'm sure Mullen's like, hey, that's a little thing that we need to do. That's a better start here in the second half.
Derek Cavallari will be the A-West quarterback.
And Dave Logan is pretty much stuck with Cavallari, I think, for the exception of just one series when the junior David Wyatt was in at quarterback.
Well, if you have two equal guys, sometimes you go with the guy with the hot hand. This is Duran running left. Duran cutting up field, and he's got a gain of about 7. And tonight, Cavallari has the hot hand.
He does. He looks sharp. Another nice run by Duran there, who really strung it out on the line of scrimmage and then picked his yardage up once he strung it out all the way to the left and saw a hole and pushed it up. Picked himself up about 6 yards.
At A-West, really keeping their plays balanced, trying to run the ball an equal amount of times as they throw it. Second down play. This time they give to Krako. Krako running straight ahead, and he's got the first down for Arvada West. Pickup of 6 for the fullback.
You always like when that play works. Kind of the fake pitch, and Cavallari goes underneath and moving the sticks, moving the chains. Another first down.
Krako doesn't get a chance to handle the ball too often, so when he gets his chance, he's going to make the best of it.
All fullbacks are like that. I talk to Howard Griffith of the Broncos every week, and I'll be, hey, Howard, you going to get the ball? He said, I only get the ball once a month. I get 1 pass a month and 1 run a month. But, you know, they all talk like that. But, you know, they're appreciated by the coaching staff and by the fans who know the game.
And especially by the tailback.
You got it.
Fake to Duran. Plenty of time for Cavallari. Going downfield long. He's got Pyatt. It's going to be knocked away. Flagged down. And you're going to have an interference call against Darcy Shaw.
Ooh, that might be a tough call on Darcy Shaw. You know, we don't have the benefit of replay, but he was step for step, and that ball was just a tiny bit underthrown.
The only thing I could think that might have happened was he got a hand in the face mask, but they're going to call the interference.
Huh.
It looked like pretty good coverage.
Especially since they kind of almost had to come back for the ball. But Pyatt just is so explosive. You know, once he gets past about the 10-yard mark on those routes, he was open. And you're talking about the change of pace by the offense. You said they want to be balanced, but they're also really keeping this defense honest. You go to the fullback up the middle, you string one out and run to the side, and then all of a sudden, a little fake, and you go long on the deep route.
First down for Arvada West on the 46. Duran running to the right side. This is good pursuit by the Mullen defense. Give a lot of credit to Assad Clinton coming up from the cornerback position.
Yeah, he held his ground nice. Duran tried to get a juke in there and see which way Clinton would go, and he didn't take the move. I think that might have been only a pickup of about 2 yards for Duran. I said at the start of the first half that I thought that the A-West offense might try to get their tight end into the passing game, and that has not happened. We'll still see if number 88, who's lined up here on the near side as a tight end, Ryan Burhorn, will be able to get his hands on the ball.
Jeremy Craighead into the game as a wide receiver. He splits out to the left. Play action pass. He's looking for a man, and down the middle it's going to be incomplete. Boom. What a hit.
Oh.
Put on to Flora. Flora had the ball in his gloves, and he just got leveled.
Wow, Mike Madrid, safety stepping up, and that's what safeties got to do in this game. You know, if you see a guy that's going to get his hands on it, boom, you pop him. Flora's coming off here. He's all right, but he just got nailed by Madrid. Now this brings up a 3rd down and 9. Kind of a short 9, and this is a big 3rd down because obviously A-West would like to keep this drive going with the lead.
Pyatt checks into the game. He's the receiver out to the left. Duran and Craighead are your receivers to the right. They'll set up a screen. This is Jones. Jones over midfield. Jones trying to break a tackle, and he gets down to the Mullen 45-yard line. And now another fourth down chance for Arvada West. But this time they're not as close to the end zone. What do you do right here, Mark?
It's a good question. We'll see what they do if they want to, say that, they might say our defense has been doing the job. We're going to try to get this first down and keep it going. That John Hawk was in pursuit of Jones there, trying to strip the ball, and then the DB stepped up nicely from Mullen and kept him from getting that first down. We got a timeout on the field, the officials' timeout. We may have another movement of the chains here, bring him in and see where this ball is exactly going to be spotted. I'm sure Dave Logan would like to see how much his offense needs to pick up here to get a first down.
The Mullen sideline, the Mullen coaches are going nuts. They're saying, you can see it's not a first down. What do you want with the measurement?
I think you can ask for the measurement, though. I know Mick McCall's not happy over there. If you're on offense, you want to see exactly what you need to pick up in order to get the first down. We're not going to be able to see it because we're hidden here on this side, but yep, you're talking about almost a yard probably. Mick McCall is still over there, livid. Similar situation happened in the Broncos-Patriots game last Monday night when New England called for a measurement late in the game, and they eventually scored a touchdown. It was down near the south end zone, a mile high. Fans are going crazy, and that kind of takes them out, even if it's just for 10, 15, 20 seconds.
Well, it also gives your offense a chance to talk about things a little longer.
We'll see, we'll see if Cavalier, maybe he'll even go for a hard count here. A lot of teams try to do that just to draw the defense offside and get a first down via the penalty.
Krako, the fullback, Duran, the tailback. They're going a quick count. This is Duran. He's going to get hit behind the line of scrimmage.
Big play. John Hawk, big play by the senior, the leader of this defense, and pretty much one of the leaders on this team. And the ball switches hands. Huge play by Hawk. I said it just started from the kickoff in the second half, doing the things that they want to do. Mullen's got to really concentrate, focus, and do what they have to do, and here they get the ball back.
So a fairly short field for Mullen. They start out at their own 46-yard line. Byerly sends Scaife in motion. Give off to Bond. Bond running right. It's got some running room. Bond cuts up and gets about 7 yards. Good quick running by Vern Bond.
Bond goes 5'8". Bo Scaife goes 6'3". Scaife just comes around on that side, and they just run him behind the big tight end. He ducks his head under and is able to come up with a big gainer on first down.
Actually, give them about 9 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 1 as they get into Arvada West territory.
That's how big of a player and how versatile a player Scaife is. You can, put him in motion and run people that way. He goes in motion again here.
This time they run the left side, and Bond is going to be very close to a first down.
I think his forward motion is going to get him the first down here.
Bond led Mullen in running in the first half, 10 carries, 58 yards. It looks like the officials will take a look at this. Well, field position will become a issue here in the second half, just as it did in the first half. Arvada West was able to start in pretty good field position at the 35-yard line on a couple of their drives after kickoffs went out of bounds, and that proved to be a benefit for them. This time Mullen takes over at their own 46, and we'll see if they can capitalize on a good starting position. First down for the Mustangs after the measurement.
First half numbers on this team. Mullen, they were almost 50-50. I think they ran the ball 16 times and threw it 15 times. Byerly was only 5 of 15. They've come out running the ball here in the second half.
Scaife in motion. Bond again. Straight ahead running off the right side this time, and he'll get about 6 yards. I think maybe they decided that, hey, we're going to run behind these big offensive linemen and just...
Kind of thought that's what they do from the start. They have here in the second half. That was 21 on 21. Bond on strong safety Tony Vase, who stepped up to kind of collar him and make that tackle. There's another flag here, and we'll see what this call is, which way it's going to go. I think it's going to go against Mullen. As you see, their huddle's already stepped out of the picture and back.
Well, yet another penalty against the Mustangs. We talked early in this game about how many penalties they had in their opener. And I'm sure that coaches just kept pounding that into their players' head, that we've got to cut down on the penalties, especially when we go up against a team like Arvada West.
That pushes it way back to their own 47. Almost back to where they started.
Byerly will throw. They set up the screen. This is rough. He gets over the 45 to the 40. Down the sideline at the 30 and finally pushed out at the 28-yard line.
And Ryan Palmer tried to step in there and get rough, but he was taken out of the play. And again, some good blocking downfield. That's why the screen is set up. You get a guy with wheels like Ruff, and he makes it happen. First down.
Pickup of about 27 yards for Ruff.
Forget about that penalty as you watch the A West Wildcats break the huddle and get ready to try to stand their line, stand their ground.
First down at the A West 29. Give to Bond off the left side, and he gets horse-collared by Flora.
There's the senior stepping up from his linebacker spot. And they got a penalty flag down here again. We'll see what the call is. But, yeah, he did horse collar. They're going to call a face mask on him. He got more than the collar. He got the face mask.
He got the face also.
And when I talked to Mick McCall during the week, he said, yeah, I'll tell you, this linebacking core of Flora, Palmer, and McNeely is solid. That's the part of the defense that he was concerned about, stepping up and making some plays. And this is going to be a costly face mask because Flora really, kind of smothered that play.
So the penalty will take the ball all the way down to the 15-yard line.
And what you were saying earlier, John, is, kind of turned around on A West here with the costly mistakes.
6:35 left in the third quarter. Mullen trying to get right back into this one. They trail it 19-10. Two receivers off to the right. Bond behind Byerly. Scaife in motion. Bond straight ahead. He's got 5. Flag down on the play, and he's good for a gain of about 8. But let's see what the flag is all about.
Man, does that hole open up when they just do that little motion, and they're going to call a hold on Mullen. Maybe that's why there was such a big hole. Maybe a little bit of holding will do that for you.
See, that's the thing about if you cheat. Just don't want to get caught out on the football field. Mullen's getting caught a lot tonight.
I could say something about our president, but I won't on this day. You're talking about cheating.
There's a lot of places we're going to go after that one. We're just going to drop it and tell you that it's second down from the Arvada West 24-yard line. What is that about discretion being the better part of valor?
You're right.
Scaife in motion from right to left. Play action pass. Byerly on the bootleg. He'll throw. He's got a man wide open inside the 20 and going out of bounds at the 15-yard line level. Hauls it in for the Mustangs. Gets close to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's going to bring up a second down at about 10 after the 10 yards on that rollout. And a good job on the O-line there for Mullen, picking up some of those D linemen trying to make the move in.
First time we've seen Byerly on sort of a bootleg type of action.
I think Vince Mitchell was the guy that kind of got out there and gave Byerly the time and the protection.
Scaife in motion from right to left this time. Bond off the left side. He gets maybe about 2 yards, but there's Ryan Palmer to make the hit.
You know what? That was Jaden McNeely, actually. Ryan Palmer was in the center. McNeely just kind of blew off the block of Bo Scaife. Scaife kind of gave it a half-hearted attempt, and McNeely was there, and Bond ran right into him. And when I watch this Byerly guy even run back to the huddle, the quarterback from Mullen, I just don't think that he's going to be moving around in the pocket very much. He doesn't even look mobile when he runs back to the huddle from the sidelines.
Third down play for Byerly. Plenty of time this time. Throws in the end zone. Touchdown! Ryan LaVille with the touchdown.
That number 84 level's been open on that play earlier. He had a big gainer, kind of that seam route. I don't know whether he's lined up, almost as a tight end or kind of in that Z spot as a wide out, but he just kind of gets right in between the zone there in the middle, grabbed that one on the goal line, and the Mustangs are in business. First score in the first half, first one in the end zone in the second half.
And the extra point will bring Mullen to within 2. So a key extra point coming up for Smith. Good snap, good hold, good kick. So Mullen draws first blood here in the second half with 5:08 left in the third quarter. It's 19-17 in favor of Arvada West.
Kind of a turning of the tables. Mullen did what Arvada West did in the first half, where their defense stepped up, got some stops, and they didn't let too many penalties kill them, and then used the big play and got into the end zone.
Well, just like that, Mullen back into it, despite a couple penalties.
Yeah, they were able to work around those penalties and come up with a big play.
54-yard drive for the Mustangs. And now the special teams question of the evening. Will we see a kickoff return at all tonight? So far, Smith's kickoff have gone out of bounds twice and through the end zone once. No kick. We have whistles, and we'll see what this is all about.
Another great night for football here at Jeffco Stadium as the referees talk this over. Officials time out on the field. And as you said, John, they're going to try this one all over again. We're not exactly sure why. I don't know if the sidelines are sure why either.
All right, I think we're good to go. There's a whistle. This one counts, folks. And here's another kick that goes to the back of the end zone. Touchback, Arvada West takes over at the 20. So the momentum now with the Mustangs. Now it's Arvada West's turn to answer.
Yeah, the defense made some plays for the Mustangs in the first series of this half. John Hawk making a big play. Mike Madrid, the safety, stepping up with a big hit on what was nearly a completion.
Jones in as the running back. Duran splits out as a wide receiver. Cavallari will throw. Looking now at the backfield, Jones has a short pickup, a gain of maybe 2.
That pass looked like it might have been almost tipped.
Well, they've thrown to Jones a couple times here in the second half. 2 catches for 10 yards here in the second half for Jones out of the backfield.
And they bring in Mika Paladino as a wideout, and he'll come to the near side here with Duran. Brad Pyatt's out left, isolated on his own. Mullen will cheat that way.
Cavallari will throw again. Throws to the left side. Here's Pyatt. Over the 30. Cuts back to the 35. Look at this guy go. Over the 40. He's at midfield. Down the sideline he goes. Cuts back again at the 30. The 20. Pyatt is going to go all the way down to the 1-yard line. Oh, my goodness. Look at that guy run.
I got to say it. Turn your head all the way back to the 20-yard line, and we have a holding call on Arvada West. So this one's going to come all the way back. But Pyatt is exciting.
And we have a Mullen player down.
I think that might be Big John Hawk. this one's going to come all the way back from the 1 all the way back.
Oh, my goodness. That guy is explosive.
I think the most impressive thing after the run after the catch was he just ran over the DB Brandon Kinsey, who was there, number 1 from Mullen. Just kind of threw him around like a rag doll, ran right over him. John Hawk, I just want to say, John Hawk, you see him there in the middle of the field, still down for Mullen.
You can have coaches tell you how fast or how big or how this or how that somebody is, but until you get a chance to see him in person, it really doesn't mean as much.
2 sports cliches about speed that kind of apply to almost all sports. You can't coach speed. You can't teach speed. And another thing is, speed never goes into a slump. John Hawk, by the way, up and at him, and he's going to walk off in his own power to the Mullen sideline. But if he's lost for any amount of time, that will be a big loss for the Mustangs.
Yeah, John Hawk, 6'6", 282 pounds, we mentioned, and can't coach much size either. You know what? We missed a fumble. At the end of that play, Pyatt fumbled, and the ball went through the end zone, and so Mullen will take over on the touchback.
I was too concerned with the flag coming down.
Yeah, we saw a flag, and we saw a guy down on the play, and we missed the fumble.
You're right. He must have coughed it up right at the 1, right by the pylon. I mean, that's got to be the case because Mullen declines the penalty and they get the ball.
So a 78-yard completion goes for naught. And now the Mustangs take over at the 20. Scaife in motion. Bond straight ahead. A big gain for Bond. Bond all the way out beyond the 30. A first down for the Mustangs.
And another good tackle there by Dirk Cisneros, who you got to wrap a guy up like that because once he's got that momentum going after about a 9 or 10-yard pickup, he's thinking big gainer, and Cisneros was able to wrap him up.
And it's got to be really disconcerting for Arvada West. Have a big play nullified by a holding, and then, even worse, you turn the ball over.
Yeah, that's a huge understatement. You're right, John.
Johnny Ruff is the running back. He gets the ball on the first down play, and it's good for about 2 or 3 yards, but there's Ryan Palmer, the middle linebacker.
Stood up by number 50. That's how you tackle. He planted and plowed, and Ruff went down.
Right now, it's really on the Wildcat defense. Mullen comes out, they score, they get a turnover, and guys like Palmer and company really have to step up on this
play
possession.
big. They want to keep it some long yardage in case they have a third down coming up here as Ruff comes to this side.
Ruff with some yardage, breaks a couple tackles, and gets over the 40. It's going to be nearer Mullen first down. Wunderlich was there to make the hit along with Flora. We might see the sticks come out again. We will.
Seems as if Mullen is convinced they can run the ball. It's something that you would think that with an offensive line that averages 280 pounds and has a couple of guys on it, they go to over 300, that they'd be able to do that as the game wears on. Wear down that defensive line.
Well, you're coming out and getting about 5 or 6 yards a pop, and that's what you want. You want to hold the ball, sustain a drive. And if they don't get caught for holding, as you see the first down, if they don't get caught for the holdings, if they don't jump offside, then Arvada West is going to have to do something to stop this running game.
Yeah, we've talked about it. That size is great, but those penalties can negate that size quickly.
So then you keep running the ball. That brings the linebackers up a little bit, and then all of a sudden you go downfield to your big receivers, Scaife or Liley or Level.
You hear it all the time. Run sets up the pass. Keep them honest, and it opens something up.
Bond back into the game as the sole back for the Mustangs. Scaife in motion from left to right. Bond off the right side. Bounces off a couple A-West tacklers, and he gets about 5 yards on the first down.
Another tough tackle by Cisneros, but Bond just gets that hit. As soon as he's got the ball in his hand, he is off the line. And I'm sure that Mullen is happy with getting 4, 5, 6 yards on first down on those carries.
And because Mullen has run the ball so much, it's been a very quick-moving third quarter. We're under 2 minutes left to go.
Yeah, you're waiting, like you said, you're waiting to see when that big pass is going to come out because they're setting up the A-West defense for something like that. Again, the run.
Bond this time off the left side. Cuts back, cuts
He's
through
tough,
a couple. Arvada
He's tough.
left.
I mean, I think Ryan Palmer just nailed Palmer. You see Palmer just throwing off one of his gloves because he banged Bond and he wouldn't go down. And again, Bond running behind Bo Scaife, who comes over and kind of plants his feet and seals off a block. And with Bond's speed, he's able to turn the corner and get the first down.
Well, Bond has 91 yards, so he's getting close to that 100-yard mark.
A week ago, he ran for 107 on 5 carries.
Tonight he's got 17.
Yeah, a little bit different of a game, too. Different opponent.
First down play for Mullen. Movement on the line. I think we're going to have offside. It looked like the middle of the A-West defense jumped.
Now we'll see which way this goes. A-West is calling for movement on the offense, and that's what they're going to get. Yeah, motion. And that'll move it back 5 yards.
This is what drives coaches crazy. Once again, we go back to the penalties. You've got a nice drive going. Everything's working your way. And then you make a silly mistake.
Mm-hmm. By the way, on the sidelines, we see Scott Lash, the safety number 14, trying to walk off what looks like a bum ankle. Not able to put all his weight down on one side.
First down and 15 after the penalty. Play action pass. Byerly rolling to his right. Gets a good block. Throws it downfield, and this is going to be caught by Scaife. Scaife over the 20. Scaife inside the 10. Touchdown, Mullen.
See ya. Scaife's the man. He actually came back to that ball. He got open. He had coverage behind him. Big enough guy that you can't get around him without a penalty. He pulls it in, and then forget about it. You're not going to pull him down. He's into the end zone.
Byerly is perfect in the second half. 4-4, and now the 53-yard touchdown.
And we were waiting for it to happen. The run, the run, the run. All of a sudden, the big play pass, the big hitter through the air.
Scaife's second touchdown of the night, and Smith is on for the extra point. And that one is up, and it's good. So 47 seconds left in the third quarter. Mullen has come out and established itself. They lead at 24-19.
14 unanswered points, down 9 at the half. Conceivably could go into the fourth quarter here with a 5-point lead.
Well, last week, Bo Scaife, 3 catches for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns.
This week?
3 catches, 107 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And he actually had one called back on a penalty that was probably his best catch of the night, where he juggled the ball down the sideline and somehow stayed in bounds. We'll see what A-West does now, trailing by 5. And they're certainly not out of the game, but we'll see if the complexion changes when you are playing from behind as to playing with the lead.
Well, they've come back from a 7-0 deficit and a 10-7 deficit. Now they're down for the third time this game. This is going to be Duran. Duran on the first kickoff return of the night over the 20. There goes Duran over the 40. One man to beat. And the kicker, Smith, is there to trip him up just enough so he can get pulled down from behind at the 50.
Ain't that just what the doctor ordered for A-West? 50 exactly on the return. He got that at the goal line. We talked about it. Mr. Smith, after that kick, they're going to say, you got to get it into the end zone. We can't let these guys get their hands on the ball. That wasn't even Pyatt. That was Duran who brings it back for 50.
So we'll circle that, and with 38 seconds left, A West takes over just inside Mullen territory. Good starting position for the Wildcats. Burrow is into the game as a tight end. Straight ahead running this time, a pickup of 3, and into the game at running back is Matt Sims, 5'11", 185-pound junior.
Changing it up a little bit. Guy with some fresh legs, maybe have him bang up there in the middle. Able to grab about 2-3 yards on his first run of the game. We'll see if A West is going to be able to get a playoff here, but I think we might be pulling right into the fourth quarter. Under 10 seconds to go, and they haven't broke the huddle.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're in any hurry to get the playoff before the end of the third quarter.
Which has arrived.
12 minutes to go.
And they're only going to have to turn it around by a matter of about 4 or 5 yards because they're right at midfield.
1 quarter to go, and it's 24-19 in favor of Mullen. This is a toss-up. Anyone's ball game.
Hey, we said it in the first half. Last shot wins it. You know, hopefully you have the ball with the 24-second clock going, and you got a chance to stick it into the end zone. Obviously, that basketball analogy, but, you know, we've got a game that's not even, you know, the margin isn't even a touchdown.
You can hear the Arvada West band in the background, and it's a pretty full house here at Jeffco Stadium tonight. Fans getting their money worth.
It'll be interesting. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but if the Wildcats can get in the end zone here and get 6, that'll make the game 25-24.
You have to go for 2. You have
exactly.
to go for 2.
And the way that the point afters have gone, the kicks, I think that's what Dave Logan will opt for.
To start the fourth quarter, 2nd down and 8 for the Wildcats. They'll start in an I formation. Burhorn in motion. He'll set up on the right side as the tight end. Play action pass.
Pyatt's open. They go short, though.
Burhorn, there's your tight end that you were talking about, Ryan Bird.
It took 3 quarters, but there's my play.
You called it, Mark.
You know, and I saw Pyatt just go down the right side. I thought he was going to try to burn one again because they can do that on that play action where they roll out and just air it out. But they finally go to the tight end.
See, that's why you're making the big money tonight.
Exactly. We're good to see Ryan Burnhorn get his hands on the ball. The senior, the solid tight end, getting a grab and picking up 9 on a first down play on the rollout.
3rd and a whisker. Long count.
Oh, this is not what A West wanted. You don't want to get into a 4th down situation when you're at the about the 42 or so and have to make another decision. Man, that Mustangs line all over A West. You got an injured player on the field for Mullen. That might be one of the DBs. That might be Brandon Kinsey. Won't know until we get a look at his number.
They didn't pick up the blitzing linebacker. It was Ryan Cox, the sophomore, who made the play.
Yeah, he saw a seam and got in there and stuck it to it.
Also a big decision for Arvada West now. They've got a yard to get the first down, and it looks like the offense is staying on the field.
Fourth and about a yard here. This is big.
Jones is the sole back. 4 receivers into the game. Long count. Cavallari will throw. Getting flushed out, and he's going to have to throw it away. Big rush by the Mullen defense.
You know what? You almost think that Cavallari was going with the hard count and trying to draw Mullen offside. They didn't go. They didn't move. And then when they were supposed to move, man, were they in the backfield.
Jay Fast and Ryan Cox were the first Mustangs to get to Cavallari, but he had no time.
Another good heady play by him, though, just to get that ball off and avoid giving up about 10 yards on the sack. You know, that's a matter of moving the ball into, you know, your own territory as opposed to Mullen taking it at their own about 41.
Right now you wonder if the offensive Mullen has been able to wear down the Arvada West defensive line at all. They're a big offensive line. Let's see if Mullen tries to use that running game. They start on first down with the pickup of 5.
Running behind Scaife again. They put him in motion. He'll grab one of the linebackers or the safety that's coming up to kind of make a hit. And, Horn knows he's going to get 4 or 5 as he puts his head down and just kind of, he almost goes sideways.
Now you've got the lead, so you want to start eating up the clock a little bit. And if you can get the ball downfield, it's exactly what the doctor ordered.
Kind of a revenge game from Mullen. They lost in the playoffs last year to the eventual champs, this A West team, the Wildcats, who have been to the championship game in 5A the last 2 years running.
This may not be the last time these two teams see each other. Here's a reverse. Gilbert Gregg getting caught behind the line of scrimmage, way behind the line of scrimmage.
Jaden McNeely was huge. It didn't fool him at all, and that is a loss.
Lots of 10 for Gilbert Gregg.
McNeely was waiting for Gregg. Gregg didn't put any move on him. McNeely was unblocked, and he pulled him down. You're talking about momentum swings. You pull out a gimmick play, a reverse, snuff it out, and cause a huge loss.
That was good discipline by the Arvada West defense. They've been running right, they've been running left, they've been running right at you, but you got to keep in your assignment, and the backside help has to stay there so you can contain on the reverse. Byerly with time has it tipped, and it's going to be intercepted by Brannon, his second of the night. Back over the 40, and Brannon all the way to the 32-yard line. Jesse Brannon, right spot, right time.
Almost the exact kind of interception he had earlier in this game. This is gigantic for A West, and the fans are loving it. They get the ball back at the 32 of Mullen, and they're in business again.
The third interception thrown by Byerly. He had been perfect in the second half. He had not made a mistake. He was 4 for 4, but this time, pass gets deflected, and here comes Brannon back the other way.
I think that might have hit one of his own Mustangs, and that's the second time tonight where the ball's gone off the hands of one of his own receivers into Brandon's hands.
Best starting point for Arvada West tonight, and we have a timeout on the field. Cavallari and the Wildcats a little confused on that play, so with 9:49, Cavallari says, hey, let's not make any mistakes. We've got the ball on the 32-yard line. I think I'll go talk it over with the sidelines.
Again, I don't know if they're confused or if this is not something that Dave Logan has planned. When he knows that it's the fourth quarter, it's crunch time, he's going to pull out the stops and make sure that the Wildcats can get into the end zone here and get the lead. There's plenty of time left, but anytime you're in the fourth quarter, it's crunch time. See Dave Logan in the huddle with his offense. There's Duran and a Flora. Of course, his quarterback, Calavari. But you have to believe that somewhere along the line here, if they can find it possible, it's going to be Brad Pyatt time.
Durham, the lone back behind Cavallari to start the drive. Mullen showing a blitz. Now Durham goes in motion, so you've got no one in the backfield. Cavallari throwing out for Duran, and he was rushed just a little bit, and he overthrows his receiver, Duran.
He had Duran, but Duran's not a big guy. They say he goes 5'9", but that one just overthrown by Calavari. But Duran went in motion, got out there one-on-one, and made a quick turn. He was actually open. Could have grabbed that for about 5. It'll be second down. First time we've seen the empty backfield, too, in this game for the Wildcats.
Once again, showing different looks. Try to confuse that defense.
Pyatt's far to the right.
Burhorn, the tight end, sets up on the right side. Fumble on the snap, and the ball's still loose. It's going to be Mullen ball.
This is blown dead, though. There was a flag. We'll see what the call is. That, they threw that flag before that fumble even occurred. Yeah, there's motion. Now, that's actually a break for Arvada West.
Well, we saw Mullen get a couple breaks, and now it's starting to even out.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, too, I think that A West may have changed centers in this game, and it made a move there. I think Joe Shepard had been in there. They might have gone to, I want to say Eric Fowler. I'm not sure. Who's snapping the ball now? Now, check that. Number 64.
70.
I think it's 64 Kip Rule.
Rule.
But I think they've made a change. That might have affected that.
Cavallari sets up the screen to Jones. Jones has some running room. Jones all the way down to the 26-yard line. Mark it at the 27.
Getting some of the yardage back after that motion penalty. Still, it's going to be a big third down play.
Definitely two-down territory for Arvada West.
Changing it up, they bring in the fullback, Krako, and they also bring up another one of the running backs, Matt Sims, who's had one carry in this game. Now Sims comes back out, and Duran's back in.
They've got to hurry to the line. They've taken a lot of time in the huddle. Straight ahead running to Duran. Now he'll cut right.
Wow.
But he can't outrun Taylor Ryan. Taylor Ryan tackles Duran for a 4-yard loss and just good quickness by a guy who goes 240 pounds.
I'll tell you, John, this second half, that defensive line has made a couple of big plays on big occasions. I mean, that's a third down, and that's a big play, and it brings up a huge fourth down. I mean, you're talking about a 4th and 11 now?
Paul checks into the game as a wide receiver. Let's see where Pyatt lines up.
Looks like
They'll come over to the near side with trips to the left.
Yeah, loading it up this way.
Cavallari with time. Now he's going to be swarmed under. Brandon Richardson, Mullen's sack leader, makes the hit, and the Mustangs will take over on downs.
Pyatt couldn't even get off the line. I was watching where he was lined up. They had 3 wide receivers this way. And within that first 5 yards, he got stuck at the line and really couldn't get off at all. Dave Logan's talking to him right now on the sideline. It looks like he's a little banged up, but...
First sack of the day for the Mustangs.
And they
that
take
comes
over.
At a great time.
This is exciting.
8:42 left. Time for the Arvada West defense to step up. Bond straight ahead, 3 yards.
Not much. Not much. He didn't run behind Scaife that time. Scaife went in motion and came back, and he took it up the middle. And A. West was there to stick it.
There's Palmer in on that tackle again.
He was, and he looks like he might have taken a stinger or something trying to walk one off. He's gotten rid of his gloves he had on earlier. He's walking one off, and he's ready to go at it again.
Scaife the motion man. This is Ruff off the right side. Ruff has about 4 yards, and there's Jesse Brannon.
Nice stick. All the yards there that Ruff got, the 2 or 3 or so, because Scaife was just knocking somebody around from A. West.
I've been very impressed on defense by Jesse Brannon and Ryan Palmer. They've been all over the place tonight. Brannon with the 2 interceptions, good tackle there, and Palmer just playing a tough middle linebacker.
Hey, Brandon, you might say they were tips, off of receivers, but you've got to be where you got to be to get the ball and pick them off and then grab it and get some yards, and he's done that.
Scaife comes in motion to the near side. Play action pass. Byerly stepping into it, throws left. He's got a man. Gregg down the sideline to the 40, and it's going to be a first down for Mullen. A key third down conversion for Gregg.
You know what? I feel bad for Jarrett McNeely. He thought he was around Jake Anderson, and then Anderson just threw him off and bought Byerly time in order to have that completion happen. I mean, that was impressive by the big O lineman, Jake Anderson.
Byerly has thrown for 218 yards tonight. First down from the 40-yard line. Bond straight ahead. There's Flora in there to make the hit along with Palmer. No gain on the play, so second down coming up.
Back to Anderson. He's one of the 2 offensive linemen that tip the scales at 300 pounds or better. And that's a mismatch, especially when you have a linebacker.
How could you possibly be in high school and be over 300 pounds?
I know, Jaden McNeely, who's giving up, you ready for this, 85 pounds to Anderson.
I mean, how many jobs must those parents work just to put some food on the table? Bond running right, shakes Brannon, but there's Palmer to pick up the pieces. Pickup of 5, 3rd and 5 coming up.
Tell you, decent pursuit that time. Tony Vase, the safety, came up and almost made that a no-gainer. But Mullen got something out of nothing.
Mark, I tell you what, win or lose for either of these two teams, this is a great game for both of these teams.
They'll meet again. You got to figure that in November, when the postseason rolls around, they'll meet again. Obviously, these teams not in the same conference.
This just makes you tested and tough as you go into league play.
Similar thing happened last year, obviously.
Scaife in motion again. Draw play, and Bond gets hit behind the line of scrimmage. Rod Morella is there to make the hit.
Defense stepping up for A West.
So you're not going to kick a 53-yard field goal.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you want to punt from the 36. I think you got to go for it here.
Yeah, both the way both these defenses have played here, and on the big downs too. They've risen to the occasion on the big third downs to force these fourth down situations.
Trips to the left, but before the play, we have whistles and timeout on the field. Timeout, Arvada West. They want to be absolutely sure with 5:23 left in the ballgame.
Absolutely sure that they can get the ball back here and go on offense.
Their second timeout, however, so we'll see if that comes back to haunt a little bit later.
You mentioned conference play still up and coming for both these teams. And week 3, A West is going to be right here again at 6th and Kipling playing Wheat Ridge. And after that, in week 4, their homecoming game against Chatfield. And that'll be a Friday night game on September the 25th.
Arvada West trying to defend their state championship from last year. Mullen ranked number 1 in state, expected by many to win the championship this year. So Arvada West looking for the mild upset tonight, but to do that, they're going to have to get the ball back, and on 4th down, this is a time for them to do it.
Could be the play of the game here.
Byerly will throw. Heavy rush. Throws. He's got a man. 1st down, Mullen. The completion to Tim Liley, a pickup of 7. Looks like Byerly is slow to get up. Nevertheless, the Mustangs have another 4 downs.
Liley knew exactly where the marker was. Good receivers do that. You get out there. You got to get the 1st down. You have to know where the marker is. You have to turn, and you have to make the catch. Scaife was over there, too. And almost again, I don't want to call it an interference, but just enough of something there to let that ball get into Liley.
Tell you what, that's such a pet peeve this year. So Arvada West looking for the mild upset tonight, but to do that, they're going to have to get the ball back, and on 4th down, this is a time for them to do it.
Could be the play of the game here.
Byerly will throw. Heavy rush. Throws. He's got a man. 1st down, Mullen. The completion to Tim Liley, a pickup of 7. Looks like Byerly is slow to get up. Nevertheless, the Mustangs have another 4 downs.
Liley knew exactly where the marker was. Good receivers do that. You get out there. You got to get the 1st down. You have to know where the marker is. You have to turn, and you have to make the catch. Scaife was over there, too. And almost again, I don't want to call it an interference, but just enough of something there to let that ball get into Liley.
Tell you what, that's such a pet peeve when I see a team on 3rd down, or in this case 4th down, not throw the pattern beyond the sticks.
Yeah. Especially on 4th down. Wow.
But Mullen, a well-coached team under Mick McCall, they pick up the 1st down, and Bond off the right side breaks loose and gets all the way down to the 18-yard line.
Yeah, inside the 20, another 1st down. think the sticks are going to move again. Yeah, first down, Mullen. Yeah, that'll keep the clock running, too.
Bond getting close to the 100-yard mark. He's got 92 yards on the night.
Just want to try that again.
Second down, or first down play for the Mustangs as Bond picked up 10. This is Ruff going left this time, getting a block. Ruff getting closer and closer to the end zone, gets down to the 16-yard line, and the clock keeps ticking down with 4:15 left.
They tried to run that again behind Scaife over there on the left side, but the tight end, J.D. Chisholm, got pushed back and almost pushed back into Ruff, who couldn't turn the corner. That's been one of their bread and butter plays. I'm sure they'll do that all year. You send Scaife that way and you run behind him, and if those backs can turn the corner, they're off to the races.
Second down, about 7 yards to go. Two receivers out to the right for Mullen. Scaife goes in motion. Bond off the right side, plenty of room. Into the secondary goes down to the 4-yard line. It was Pyatt making the hit, but another gain of 10 for the Mustangs.
If Pyatt doesn't make that hit, you're talking 6.
I really think that the Mullen offensive line was able to wear down A-West a little bit.
Yeah, there's a couple of plays, couple of occasions here in the second half where the big guys, the one that I highlighted, Jake Anderson, just, really able to manhandle some linebackers that thought they might have been able to make some plays.
Bond running straight ahead, cuts right into the end zone, touchdown, Mustangs.
That was first and goal, and it didn't take long. Mullen ups its lead with just over 3 minutes to go in this game.
It'll make the score 30-19 before Smith comes on for the extra point.
And with only 3 minutes to go, I want to say this one's in the book, but not looking good for A-West. Funny, if this point after is converted, we'll be at a similar score as that playoff game of a year ago last season, 31-15. Here's the point after attempt. And it's good, and that makes it 31-19.
Well, folks, the Wildcats have a lot of work to do. 3:08 left in the second half. The Mustangs have pitched a shutout here in the second half, and they lead at 31-19.
A-West needs a quick score. A run back would help if they can even get a run back, unless there's a touchback. And then maybe an onside kick, and you go from there.
Well, I'm not sure right now if you kick the ball all the way downfield. I think you might squib it a little bit, but whatever. I don't want Pyatt to get his hands on the ball.
Or Duran. His last return came back 50 yards. I'm sure Mick McCall is as aware of that as we are here in the booth. We'll see what happens on this kickoff.
Now I think we have a chance to watch Arvada West in the 2-minute drill. Smith set to kick it off for the Mustangs.
And you called it kind of a little bloop kick. They got to get on that. That would have been an onside kick. I mean, the front line of A-West looked at it, watched it go over their head. Somebody came up and made a great grab. I think it might have been Chad Jones.
Yeah, it was Jones.
A good hands guy, an offensive guy. But that ball drops. It's anybody's ball.
All you have to do is call a fair catch on that. You can do it on a kickoff. They'll probably talk about that in practice next week.
That's a tough ball to kick like that. I mean, you have to cup that with your foot and almost just lift it. It's a difficult thing. I wonder if Smith practices that. But you called it. They didn't want to have that ball in the hands of Pyatt or Duran. Either way, they get good field position at the 41.
David Wyatt into the game as quarterback for the Wildcats.
That's got to be that's a holding, yeah, without a doubt. Duran got held up. I mean, he couldn't even get to the ball.
Darcy Shaw had to grab him. Might have had some jersey there.
Well, it's good for Wyatt to get a little experience in this game as well. He's only been in for one other series.
I'm looking at the sidelines to see if Calaveri might be dinged up, but he's there with a helmet in hand. And interesting that Wyatt would be in, here in the fourth quarter with we're coming up on under 3 minutes to go.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Wyatt. Big rush by Mullen. Wyatt steps into it. He's got a man, and this is going to be all the way down to the 5-yard line. Pyatt comes up with it, just totally outrunning the defense. And if he wasn't stumbling a little bit, he would have been in the end zone.
Maybe that's why Wyatt was in. That ball was perfectly thrown. Pyatt pretty much caught it in stride. And in 3 plays, if you count the near onside kick, the little bloop kick, and then the hold off the line, and 1 pass play, and A. West is down to the 5-yard line in about 15 seconds.
Don't go away yet. Wyatt throws into the end zone incomplete. We have another interference call.
On Shaw.
This is one that Shaw is not happy about.
Same thing. Duran on Shaw. He banged him. He can't get to the ball. I don't even know if that ball was catchable.
2:44 left in the ball game, but here come the Wildcats.
This moves to what? Half the distance to the goal line?
Yeah. Down to the 2.5.
I think that when A. West got the ball, there was 3:08 remaining, and they've only used 23 seconds and virtually on the goal line.
Really impressed with that throw that Wyatt made to Pyatt. That wasn't easy to say either.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see something to Pyatt here, even though they're this close to the goal line. They might want to bang it in.
Wyatt knew he was going to get drilled on that bomb, but still stepped into the throw.
And isn't that fun to say? Wyatt to Pyatt.
First down and goal. Arvada West ready. Quarterback sneak, it's going nowhere.
I'll tell you, Wyatt got hit twice. He kept it, went left, got hit, still on his feet, and then got jacked again. Maybe is at the line of scrimmage.
Well, they'll huddle up, and 2:29 left in the ball game.
You mentioned earlier, John, already 2 timeouts used by A. West. So without getting it in there, this is going to use up some time.
You got to make sure of the first one. Duran into the game as the tailback. This is Duran running behind Krako. He's going to be stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
Man, the Mustangs D is stepping up in big occasions here, led by John Hawk. That was just a wall.
That was Jorge Terran making the hit from the middle linebacker position. Now we're under 2 minutes, $1:50 left in the ball game.
I was talking about how 3 plays took 15 seconds, 4 took 23. A minute has now expired since A. West got this ball on that penalty halfway to the goal line. More than a minute. There's going to be less than a minute and a half to go in this game. They got to get it in here.
Third down and goal for Arvada West. Duran running right, going for the pylon, and he's got it. Touchdown, Arvada West.
Man, he took the long way around, didn't he? But he got in. Didn't have a whole lot of blocking. Was trying to see if he could cut it back. And just said, forget it, man. I'm burning. The afterburners are on. Let's hit that pylon and get the ball over the plane.
Now an important extra point coming up. Because right now it's 31-25. If you miss this, score another touchdown, then it's a tie ball game. If you make it, score another touchdown, you don't have to worry about the final extra point.
Remember, Palin's already missed a couple of point afters earlier in the first half.
Low snap, good hold, and the kick is up, and he's got it. So a key extra point.
You know what? That bad snap, actually, I think, made Grant Palin concentrate and take his time and make sure he got under that one. He had hooked the previous 2 to the left.
All right, there's a story, folks. The 1:22 left in the ball game. 31-26, an onside kick coming up.
Here we go. We knew it was going to be one of these games. You knew it would come down to the last possession. We saw the, well, it wasn't an onside kick by Mullen the last time. They were just trying to keep it away from Pyatt and from Duran and made some kind of a bloop kick. We'll see. Well, actually, we'll see who even kicks this one. We'll see if Hegelson's the guy to kick this one. You know, Hegelson's been the guy that's been kicking it long. We'll see. It looks like he is going to go out there and be the guy to do the kicking again.
So they line up in the onside formation, and Mullen has the All-State team in. Lots of hands out there for the Mustangs.
Same goes for A West.
About to be a mad dash for the football.
Got to go from the 40 to the 50 to midfield.
Onside kick by Helgeson. Does exactly what you want. Ball is tipped around, I think.
John Hawk got it. John Hawk, the big hoopster from Mullen.
Yeah,
and you know, that's
it's just like a rebound.
Yeah, with their size, and we were down on the field before the game. There's a lot of guys that are well over 6 foot, and even if some of the A West Wildcats were in there, I don't know whether they would have been able to win a jump ball. But now
Right.
you're just going to see
Byerly will take a knee
or some
2 or 3
try
times.
to grind it out on the ground.
Arvada West with just the one timeout.
And they got it packed in there.
Byerly gives off to Bond. Bond straight ahead into the secondary. Loses the ball.
Fumble.
It's Arvada West ball.
I wonder if they're going to call him down. Which way is
No,
this
they're going to give it to Arvada
yeah.
West. I cannot believe that Mullen was running the ball.
Bond can't believe it either. He walks off the field with his helmet off. What a turn of events with 1:11 to go in the game. And Arvada West back on offense. The turnovers. On their own 45. And Wyatt still in a QB.
Unbelievable.
I said it earlier. I'm going to say it again. Wyatt to Pyatt. Can Pyatt be... Everybody's going to get on their feet here at Jeffco Stadium.
2 receivers out to the right, 2 to the left. Wyatt will throw. Heavy rush. Goes downfield for Pyatt.
That's for Duran.
For Duran.
And I don't even know if he caught that ball, if he would have been in bounds. But that's the changeup, too, they can do. You know, John, because Pyatt's on that side, and you know that he's going to get the extra man, if not double coverage, sometimes even triple.
Wyatt 1 of 4 for 45 yards tonight.
And I don't know who the running back Doran ran into, but he coughed it up. Or Bond, I'm sorry, Bond ran into.
Wyatt wants to throw again. This time, good time. Throws, it's going to be incomplete. And that was right into the hands of Jeremy Craighead.
You know, I think he heard footsteps.
Yep.
I think he knew that even if he grabbed that, he was just going to be nailed. And now we're talking 3rd and 10. Mullen's calling a timeout here.
They want to make sure everything's all set on defense. If I'm Arvada West, I see the defensive backs going into deep drops, the linebackers going into some drops. You might have some running room on a screen pass. You don't have to get all the yardage on 3rd down.
You know, I wonder a little bit about this timeout. Maybe some of the Mullen guys are winded. They want to get set, but you know, Dave Logan's able to trot on the field, chart a couple of plays. Obviously, you're going to run 2 plays here if you don't get the first down right at the back. Might maybe even chart more, hoping you get the first down.
Well, a few people have left.
No, I think a lot of people have come. I think they've showed up. I think we've added spectators. And why not? With 1 tick away from a minute to go in the game, and this score is still in the balance.
Well, for those people who did leave, you left too early. Third down play. Wyatt sets up the screen. Running room for Jones, and he gets out of bounds. A first down for A West. Pickup of 12.
Stops the clock with 53 seconds to go. You called it, perfectly executed. He had his blockers out in front, and he got out of bounds.
Down to the 43.
4 more downs with 53 seconds.
And you don't always have to go to the sideline. Remember, the clock stops on every first down.
Pyatt's far out to the right.
3 receivers to the right. Wyatt looking left. Out of the backfield is Jones again. And Jones is close to another A West first down. And we're going to have a intentional roughing.
Yeah.
A late hit out of bounds.
Stupid, man. Mullen's going to... Oh, I think John Hawk went right over to Mike Madrid, who might have been flagged for that late hit. Hit out of bounds and said, you got to be kidding me. Now, this is going to move the ball. Yeah, that's a personal foul. And that only used 6 seconds.
So that'll take the ball all the way to the 20-yard line. Actually, they mark it to the 17. 47 seconds left in the ball game.
I think we got a timeout. I think that Mullen has called a timeout, yeah, because they brought one of their coaches on.
This would be just an absolutely incredible comeback for Arvada West.
Yeah, they got to settle down there on defense. I mean, after a penalty, I think that's a good timeout.
The Arvada West coaches have made every player take a knee. They don't want them to get out on the field. They don't want an illegal participation foul.
Maybe we can get a shot of that on the sidelines of all the A West players. And this is reminiscent of when I was at the 91 Super Bowl with the Buffalo Bills playing against the New York Giants down in Tampa when Scott Norwood was attempting that field goal that ended up going wide right.
Don't say that. We know what happened to Buffalo that game.
Yeah, the Bills didn't take a knee, but they were hand in hand, and you can see all the Wildcats hoping, praying that this football game is going to turn their way.
First down from the 17-yard line. 47 seconds left. I formation. Wyatt pitches to Duran. There's Pyatt on a reverse. Pyatt looking for some running room. Cuts over the 15, and a great open field tackle there. Oh, my goodness.
Was that Mike Madrid?
Mike Madrid saved lots of yards.
Under 30 to go. I'm surprised Pyatt didn't cut it back inside right from the get-go. I think he wanted to juke and go outside, and that gave Madrid time to come up and stop him.
20 seconds left. They've got to hurry. Little confusion as well. Wyatt talking to Krako.
Got to throw here.
Arvada West with 1 timeout. Wyatt will throw on second down, getting flush from the pocket. Wyatt will go out of bounds.
With 4 seconds to go.
The ball will be at the 17.
And that final timeout is going to come A West way here.
Dave Logan will have a chance to go in and talk with his offense.
You know, I said it jokingly a few times during this game that it was going to come down to the last shot, the last team to have the ball. We're talking 4 seconds to go.
The Mustangs will go to their sideline, gather around Mick McCall and the defensive coaches. Arvada West offense stays out on the field, talking with Dave Logan.
Go back to that end around, that reverse by Pyatt. The guy's so quick, you thought he was going to just be able to split that seam, but he made one little move to the outside, and it was enough to let Mike Madrid come up and know that when he came back in, he was there to stick him.
Well, we haven't called Mike Madrid's name a lot tonight for Mullen, but he could very well have saved the ball game for the Mustangs.
He had a couple of good sticks earlier. He had a costly penalty on a late hit, but that could have been a game saver. Still 4 seconds to go. Everybody standing here at Jefferson County Stadium.
It all comes down to this from the 17-yard line. One back Jones behind Wyatt. trips to the left. Duran out to the right. Craighead in motion from left to right. Wyatt with a long count. Here comes a blitz. Throwing into the end zone. Caught by Pyatt at the back of the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown!
A West wins it. Wyatt to Pyatt. You knew it was coming. And the superstar of the Wildcats gets it done.
Oh, my!
It's a mob scene here, John. Oh, the fans are storming the field. You know, don't tell me, we said at the beginning, don't tell me this game doesn't mean anything. You got number 1 against number 2, and the final score is 32-31, A West over Mullen.
An absolutely incredible high school football game. Better than advertised. And every student from Arvada West is about to be mobbing their Wildcats.
I feel like I'm in San Diego at the end of January. Wyatt to Pyatt.
You got to try it.
The go-to guy, and they just laid it up there. You know, we say how great Pyatt is, his athletic ability, but the pass was where nobody but Pyatt could grab it at the back of the end zone. He got his feet in. Game over.
And the two teams will shake hands. An unbelievably excited Arvada West team. It's got to be a pretty dejected Mullen team, but these two will see each other again. And now we have a fight.
John Hawk and some of the Mullen guys are getting in on it. Tony Vase, the safety for A West, kind of gave Hawk a little jab, and he came back at him, and Hawk's like 6'6". He thought something like this might happen. But they'll be talking about this one until these two teams meet again, and you can only hope they'll meet again.
It's going to be
in
bad
the postseason,
blood.
You know, yeah.
Bad blood. So most of the players still shaking hands. Couple policemen on the field.
Hey, you know what? That's high school rivalry right there. And even the coaches are getting a little jabbering in. I think I see Mick McCall over there, not happy. That's more frustration than anything when you lose by 1 point with 4 seconds to go, and you're burned by Wyatt to Pyatt.
Well, not much more to say from Jeffco County Stadium. We're going to wrap it up. What a game.
John, it's great.
Sort of speechless, Mark.
It's great when games and what you see on the field says it all.
Well, folks, we're going to call it a night from Jefferson County Stadium. From Mark Stout, I'm John Knopf saying so long once again. The final score, Arvada West 32, Mullen 31. Hope you enjoyed it, everybody.